All right. And we are live. The last word with Lord Cognito and Ebontis. Fresh by the campfire. A lot of things going on or not going on in the world of Destiny. Ebontis, man, what is going on with you, sir? How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. Jumped into the new bunker this week, checking out the light bright wall that we've got behind us here. And if you guys are listening to the audio version of this, the video version has the
Hmm.
background of the bunkers with all the planets and stuff going on. And yeah, we had an
Nice.
interesting little cut scene. So we've got a little bit of a
Yeah.
teaser of the narrative moving along. We got the TWAB yesterday that causes Reddit and
Hmm.
Twitter to explode. Not in
Yes.
the best way, unfortunately. And fixes are also coming later for a very important
Hmm.
thing that everybody enjoys on the weekends. But at least this weekend you should be getting your rewards, because last weekend, less so.
Yeah, about that.
So
Yes.
where do we
That is
start
important.
in all of this crate? Do we start with the narrative? At least start with the positive, start with the good?
Let's start with the
All
positive.
right.
Let's keep the energy up with the
Yeah.
positive.
So when we logged
Mhm.
in on Tuesday, we had probably the shortest bunker clearing ever of all
Yes.
time.
Of all time.
Yeah. Of three.
Hmm.
Of all time. Of three. So dramatic. But it was
Yes.
actually pretty cool. I wanted to get your
Hmm.
kind of thoughts and impressions on just
Hmm.
what we got there.
Right. Well, first off, I was able to see it because I debuted it on Stadia. Actually, it was my new platform of choice
Hold
for
on, I was drinking
PvP.
something. What? I'm sorry, you're
You know,
playing.
because
You're like, hey, I got this PC Master Race. I got friends on Xbox. What? Why?
all right, let me break down the logic here. Okay, so first off, PC Master Race right now because until consoles catch up, we got to stay with our plus 60 frames, our field of view. I get it. And two, Google made some announcement this week that the pro version of Stadia is free. So I'm like, yeah, they probably gonna want you to commit, give you like 20 up front or something. No, actually, it is legit free.
You literally
Now they
just like
do
make a name and log in.
you make a name, they do ask for your card, but they don't charge you until the 2 months, right? So
Oh, they'll charge you in two
literally,
months then. Yeah. This is your free trial, and if you forget to
no,
cancel, you're gonna get
yeah, if you
charged in
forget
two.
to cancel,
Well,
you got your.
that's
But if you
exactly, yeah. Then
But
it's
if
not.
but this what you do. This what you do. You literally do what I do. You sign up and cancel, and you still keep all the pro features to the 2 months.
Yeah.
It's a trial, so I'm like, ooh, let's go. That email was lit, so I went in there, and like I said, it looked pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I can't front. I had to do my cross save, set up my cross save, link the accounts on Bungie, all that. But so I figured, you know what? What's the best thing to do is to go straight into PvP. Because my thing was, one thing we know about Google Stadia servers, they're not going to be hacked in the manner of Steam. You
No, that
can't you
is
can't get no access
one.
to that.
Yep.
Right. So I said, all right, this might be my trials hustle. So I figured, go into a little, 3v3 playlist, little 4v4 playlist, nothing crazy. You know what I mean? And just proceeded to wait and wait and wait. And then I'm like, all right, 30 minutes. All right, let me try now. Let me try classic mix. And wait, and wait. 2 hours. I tried 4 different playlists. Could not get into one PvP. I have still yet to debut PvP on Stadia. Yet. So I've done what you call. I did
It's such a
PvE.
small population. Have you? So
Yeah.
what? I was helping somebody else with some things in the game.
Hmm.
Shout out
Hmm.
Inversion if you're out there.
Hmm.
Um, and he mentioned he was playing on Stadia and was just trying to do the public event. Was just having issues trying to get it done.
To get it cold because people ain't coming around
Yep.
to, yeah, that's the
So same
thing.
idea. And then I went to go check the population because I was talking with him. I was like, so you got 1. I don't know, 3 million usually. And there's like
Hmm.
400,000 on PlayStation,
Yeah.
380 on PC, 380 on
Hmm.
Xbox. So I'm like, yeah, it's all pretty even. And then it's like
Hmm.
when you hit over on Charlemagne and Discord and it's like 5,000 across all of Stadia. And I was just like, oi, and it's like Crucible has like 1K. There's 1,000 people in the world you might get to match with, and it's just trying.
Bro,
Not
it's
happening.
bad. It's not happening. And it's like they really like I'm urging everybody. look, it's free. Jump in so I can have someone to play with. I just want to play Trials hack free and just to see how it feels hack free for a little bit.
Everybody getting the same amount of lag. You get a little input lag. You get a little input lag. Everybody gets a little input lag, but you're on dedicated servers.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is because I rather sacrifice the input lag than the frames. So I figure, at least I have 60 frames. Maybe my gun shoot a little. It won't be as responsive, but
you're like, hold on, dude.
It's like
bad.
Shot,
it's like bad voiceover from like old movies when it's like, dude.
It's not that bad. Yo, you go in there. Listen, if you got the speed, I got like over 100 up, 100 down. If you got the speed, I say go for it. The experience is really cool, but again, without a population, I mean, it's sad what's going to happen, and I don't know what they can do. They've got to do a better job just giving this thing away to get, the population up. But as far as pure visual fidelity, 4K, shout out to Neo Mental. It looks good. It's a shame, But, so I did that. And so I said, you know what? Screw all the PvP stuff. Let me go to the IO bunker. And thus, to your original point, I saw the cinema, and I'm like, oh, okay. So let's get into it. Yeah, man, I was very surprised that we got this kind of foreshadowing. We got Space Doritos are back, and a little conversation with Zavala and Rasputin, and looking like we're gonna have a truce between the parties. What did you take from this whole interaction?
So one, Zavala's kind of getting over himself a little bit. It was kind of the line is like, you were there, and he was like, when he has the kind of the revelation in his mind that he's like, Rasputin lived through the collapse. Like, we came after all Guardians came after the collapse. I'm not a lore expert, so anything I say today, take it with a giant asterisk if I don't completely know what I'm talking about. But Guardians came after the collapse when the Traveler kind of like basically hunkered down and sent out the Ghost to go find Guardians and stuff to protect the area.
Yes.
But like the Traveler did what it could to get through that, and the Warmind was around during the Golden Age, and therefore also the one who lived through this crazy time. So Zavala gets this like reality check of like, dude, you got to see all the crap go down. You gave everything you could, and we basically failed. Like the Golden Age is done and gone. So he had that little revelation that okay, Warmind's seen some stuff. And like what he's going for, and he's like, okay, so has this like little speech in the end saying, when the time comes after we deal with the Almighty, we will prepare, we will give all of our resources, and all of us together, including Rasputin, we will be Guardians, like working on like the same line. And I was like, it's kind of a cool speech. That of course, and then of course seeing like Lance Reddick on Twitter, I'm just like, he can talk like all he wants to. Dude, I would listen to that man talk. He's got one of those awesome voices.
Yeah, his voice is. I mean,
unlike mine, by the way.
You're funny. You cool.
I'm like the nerdy dude in the video game, and Lance Reddick is. I am Zavala, the commander of all Titans, and I am over here. I'm gonna be like Drifter's butt in the corner. Hey guys. So no, it was cool, but also very ominous because you had the two basically playbacks of kind of like sounded like black box recordings of the two ships that were either being attacked or basically being overrun during the collapse.
Yeah.
And it was like multiple millions of people upon this ship out towards Titan and the arcology is being attacked. And it's like he's playing back that stuff. And then we get the map. The map shows up and you're like, I'm sorry, what's on that map?
Yeah, they're there.
I'm like, is that a live map?
That looked like the live feed.
I'm pretty sure. So for those of you guys who are listening in audio who can't see the screen right now, there's two places now where we kind of have confirmation. If you take our solar system, go to Uranus.
Uranus.
I was trying not to say that.
Listen, we got to be accurate. We got to be structurally accurate here. Continue.
That's fine. I was trying to get away with the other one, but it's fine. Uranus.
No, let it. Continue.
Pluto's just like not in Destiny, by the way. I love how it's just not there.
Yeah, like what's up with the lack of Pluto love?
Yeah,
it's interesting.
They even have like a little heart thing. Like Pluto has that big heart on it. Anyway, so you got Uranus, and then you have outside. So in the projection, we have all the kind of patrol or the orbit rings, and literally right outside of that, ships. Like they're not that far.
Yes.
Now, I also am
reaching
curious. Now, this is where I wanted to ask you a question too.
Talk to me.
How much to scale is that map or the projection? Because in that projection, one of those pyramid ships will hold Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, like they're huge.
Huge.
They are like the size of Saturn. They're massive. So I'm wondering if they are to scale. Now, granted, one of them is sitting in the moon. Is that like a little baby Scout? Or is that like the Independence Day mothership type situation?
Right. That's a good point.
I'm wondering how big those things are. Because that would be a very long exploration for a patrol zone, I can tell you.
The question is, I will say this, with the way the annual pass structure has been going, I am surprised to see darkness references again. You know what I'm saying? Like, this seems to be a little bit more faster than I anticipated. Because obviously we know we got so many
loose threads. One of the lines, too. He's like, it's closer than we think or something. Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, man. So, I mean, at the end of the day... Yo, Blackwing, y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta relax.
Yeah, you're killing me.
Yeah, you killing us right now. So, like I was saying, yeah, man, it's just one of those things that it's imminent. You know, they definitely, advancing this thing much faster. Because again, you would think that this thing is going to be limited to the Almighty, and then after that, maybe a hint of something else. Yeah. But they're kind of going ahead, like they did with Cyrus and the whole thing. So yeah, this is interesting. I was very surprised to see that. We got our bunker. Did you touch the bunker? Did you cash in all your chips and have it all full? Is it all done?
It was done in the first 5 minutes, yeah.
Oh my god.
I literally logged in, I was like ding 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 ding.
Was he yelling done? Was he every time you hit the thing? He's talking Russian to you?
Oh god, constantly, yeah.
Constantly.
So much Russian that I don't understand. He could be cussing me out and I wouldn't know a difference, so.
Exactly. Very aggressive Russian every time you catch it.
It would be really funny if this is translated and people are playing it in Russian, they just do it in English just to mess with them. He's an English war mind. But he's like actual formal English, like, so sir, how are you today? Can you have some tea and crumpets? Bad accents all the time, by the way, here. I would love it if for other... Or have you ever seen regions. When they do, if you see Destiny in Japanese or something like that? By the way, they have some of the best dramatic voice acting and be like, what? I'm like, I would be very curious how other things sound in other languages.
Absolutely.
Some of that would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we've got, we go in the bunker, and then this is what's the background of our podcast today. And what we've got is... some of you guys may have noticed previously, you had the big light bright wall, and if you don't understand that reference, it just means I'm too old. No, Cognito's not, but if you don't know what a light bright is, you're too young.
That's right.
But basically, the wall behind the bunker, especially I think it's right behind the terminal of the Lost Sector Adventure button, you've got what looks like a solar system, and everything seems to be lit up. And I've done some Twitter posts on this one, and it was okay, so you start at the big, giant, glowing orb, half circle, it's the sun, goes through all the planets, they're listed in Russian. You have a couple that aren't lit up. You have a belt that isn't lit up. You have this Kuiper belt and the Kuiper belt object. And then now, this is the one where we can see far enough out, because the moon one has all this crap all over it.
Yeah.
And then this one, we can now see all the way past the edge of our solar system. And just on the brink of it, there's these little orange triangles sitting out on the edge. So now we have a projection showing pyramid ships on the edge of our solar system. Ooh. You have this little light bright map that is also showing them as triangles. And I think that's kind of where you're calling it as well, is right now the Almighty is supposed to be on this collision course. Apparently it's going to take a minute to get here because we've been doing this for 3 weeks. I don't know what the travel time of the Almighty is, but it's slow. But we haven't even mentioned that yet. True. It's it started in the cinematic, and we're like, hey, we got to boot up Rasputin. Since that little opening cinematic, though, nothing. Nothing about the Almighty. We just thing is coming and crashing through. Eventually going to come crash into the last city. Apparently, we know it's going to be in 11 and a half weeks because we're going to get right at the end of the season. But right now, that's not a big deal. So we do have these bigger issues coming to us. He's Prescott's there's a lot of space between Mercury and Earth.
Between Earth and Mercury.
I know. I'm aware. There's millions.
Shout out to Blackwings. He said he thinks after this next season, the next expansion will get a streamline to the darkness. He said I thinks all next year will be a build to it. That's what
So you
Blackwood
don't
did.
think we're gonna get the ships coming to us September? Okay, so I guess that's the question: is
That's the
what
question,
is the
right?
timing of all of this stuff? Is what I'm painfully leading to.
Yeah, they got it. They're in a weird spot because I ideally felt the Darkness should be Destiny 3. And clearly, we're not ready for Destiny 3. So I still think they got beats that they gotta tie up, man. We got Savathun, we still ain't deal with. We still got Aldrin and his foolishness that we ain't get to deal with. The Queen. There's still so many threads that are just loose, still running around. And don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be mad if September's expansion, was okay. Here, the darkness, or at least, they said they sent the scout out, and we got to deal with it. We actually see the race, whatever. But yeah, man, they almost in this weird spot. I don't know how they going to reveal that when I feel the perfect reveal of the race, it's just my opinion, would be Destiny 3. You
Yeah,
introduce a new race, you introduce a new subclass. We go with our theories of the light and the darkness, all the stuff we've been saying, and some of the rumors. If Guardians, I have to choose between light and dark, and
please
then
let
roll
that
with it.
happen.
Then I think that's a go because that was from the anonymous source that was right up until this part so far until he's
Yeah.
gone dark. So what is that, 9 or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I say. But the thing is, they've got to kind of stretch. To me, it's like they kind of got to stretch it, dog. That's why I'm surprised when we tuned in. It's like, oh, there's the darkness again. Shadowkeep. I'm like, whoa, I didn't expect this. Here comes Season of the Worthy. Here we go again. So yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe we get it. Maybe I'm wrong. You're right.
Maybe
We
it's
get it
September.
earlier. Yeah,
See, that
maybe we
seems
get it earlier.
so. Because a lot of everybody has been speculating about, and again, go watch Bife's videos about this type of stuff
Oh,
because
I missed it. Yeah, tell me about bikes. I missed the bike.
I haven't finished it yet either. But I'm just saying, if you want to catch
How
up on
long is
anything
it?
lore related, it's like 16 minutes. I just
Okay.
got partway through and got distracted with stuff in my
Gotcha.
house.
No doubt, no
Apparently,
doubt.
my handyman stuff around my house continues. I've replaced a couple
So,
doorknobs recently because
there you go.
we have a kind of just a bonus room upstairs,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of over the garage. My wife did
I
yoga up
remember.
there
I've
in
been
the
there.
morning. Yeah, you were there. I'm explaining to the rest of the world.
Oh,
You
to the
were-
people, to the people,
yeah.
to the people. I got the tour.
But
I
my
got
wife, she was just doing yoga in the morning upstairs and came down. She was trying, and I was just laying in bed because I was sleeping in.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard the door handle, and it was and it had recently gotten kind of janky, but was still working. And she tried to get out, and she tried to open it. I was like, oh, maybe it's just being weird. Second one, I was like, did it finally die? And then she's like,
no.
help. And I'm like, so I had to go open the door because she literally got trapped upstairs.
Trapped upstairs. Yeah.
So it was
crazy.
there was a trip out into the world. So Home Depot bought a new door handle, replaced that
Nice.
one. So wasn't that bad, but
Salute.
yeah. So yeah, I got that part done.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's right now, it's kind of crazy to think
Yeah.
the timing of is September going to be but I was as you were saying, it's as we go through these seasons, we had Curse of Osiris 2.0. We've
2.0.
had
Yep.
Warmind 2.0.
2.0.
Were we going to get a Forsaken 2.0 is one question I was very curious about
Right.
because the Dreaming City is sitting there in limbo for
Yeah, limbo for
ever.
a minute. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
we're
so it's been
going,
quiet.
guys?
You feel we gotta. That's why I thought we still gotta break the cycle, and we gotta get Savathun. It's getting to that point now. We gotta.
Well, I mean, I
get,
think Savathun might be part of the darkness is one of the big questions too. Somebody is wondering, is the darkness the veil, Savathun, the bigger piece behind that? There's always I've heard that as questions too. And
Prescott.
if you
Prescott
Prescott will go, so Prescott's definitely
cooking right now.
yeah.
He said
Prescott is
September.
a writer, so he will definitely cover the lore. So go for it.
Yeah, he said September is Hive Savathun, as she is the trickster. I think we'll start to see the first few Guardians change and turn. The seasons after that will be the result of all the power structures falling apart and new factions starting to take advantage, while hints of the darkness taking hold, so that 2021 may be the line in the sand of preparing for the war. That will be the centerpiece for D3 in 2022. I'm feeling you, I'm feeling you, Prescott. I think, yeah, that sounds lit. I will say this: I love that strike that you face, and it's you and Zavala, and then Eris eavesdrops in, and she starts talking about Savathun, and she starts talking about her being the trickster, and she would only reveal her hand. That's literally one of my favorite strikes, man. That's literally actually a side note, sidebar, flashpoint, long point. What's your my second favorite strike is the other one, the one in what was it?
You got to
Is it
go back and tell
Nocris?
me the name of the first one.
All right, that strike I don't know the name. It's one
What
where
do
you're
you
fighting
do
the
in it?
Taken. In it, you're doing a lot of platforming. You get to the end, it's a Cabal Taken boss, and it's all Taken. It's all it's not the Lake of Shadows, not the Lake of Shadows.
I was like, that's
It's
the
that new
Cabal
one that
Taken
got
guy.
added. He's another Cabal Taken one.
Festering
And
Core?
literally, I think so because it's Zavala first talking to you, but then as the strike goes on, Eris joins the call, and then Zavala's like, "Oh, Eris, you eavesdropping on
Core.
us?"
Yep.
Festering Core. Yeah, that's my favorite.
I've played that
love
one
strike.
time, but it was very cool. I just haven't actually.
Oh, I love
it
that
never. I never trip into that one on accident, be it running
never get
strikes
it?
or anything. I finally one time just picked it on the map. I was like, all right, I got to see what happens in here. It
love
was
that
really
strike.
cool.
I
I
get it a
did a
lot.
really old. I did a really old mission, and it's that point where you're kind of going through. Is it IO? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So
Well,
and there's
IO
like
where?
no. Is the strike on IO?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it feels IO
Yeah,
because
'cause
it's
there was,
green,
like-
green hues. Yes.
Yeah, there was like quests I was doing, and it's like that kind of half dome area with like kind of the structures around it. And I was like, oh, this place is cool. But I'd actually tripped into that place and I was on stream doing some random quest. And then like, hey, this is the like, and I took a screenshot and put it on Twitter. It's like, hey, this is really cool. I don't know how old this is. And somebody was like,
Yeah.
that's also part of Festering Core. I was like, I have to apparently go play that. Festering
Festering
Core was
Core.
like, it was
A joint.
like the size of that strike though. Is you're
That's
going
a big
down,
strike,
like
bro.
it's.
You go down, you go up, then you got to shoot the boxes. Then you've got those grids, like almost like the little laser grids. There's a
Like-
lot going on with that. I love that strike.
That's why we like. That's why we like strikes.
Yeah,
right
I
there
miss,
is why
I
we
miss
like
when we used to
strikes,
get them all the
man.
time.
Yeah.
Right. And my second one is Nocris. I've always been a fan of that Nocris strike.
He pisses me off because he's immune.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay, because you were the one phase. Okay,
No,
okay, I
not
got
that. I just the immunity phases annoy me because all it does is remind me of Hollowed Lair,
you. Okay.
and that's just like, and you get to a point, it's like, bing, like it's not. You can't nuke him or whatever. Areas, enjoy your drive to work. Safe drive.
Salute.
Focus
Salute.
on the
Save
road.
job areas. Mm-hmm.
Like Nocris isn't a bad strike in and of itself, but just the fact that you have to go immune unless you truly do nuke him in one. If you don't, you can't nuke him. But it's just it's not bad. I mean, the mechanics, it's throwing the balls again.
I throw the balls at the thing.
So,
break
I mean-
the shade.
Yeah,
I like that he's a unique enemy, like in a sense. Like I just like the way he floats to the like he'll come to where you're at.
Yeah,
Once he breaks the
He
barriers,
has three phases.
I love that.
Yeah, he's stuck at the top
Yeah.
first. Then he's stuck up there and shoots at you. And then the third one, he floats at you and shoots you. Solo that
Yeah.
thing and tell me how much you like it, by the way. Solo that on a Nightfall?
I have, but not on a Nightfall.
Solo that
That's
on a
another
Nightfall
level.
and
That's
tell me
another
how
level.
much you like that one. Because
I
I
feel you.
have earlier in my soloing days, and I can tell you there is one rock you can hide behind that he won't go behind it and find you.
Uh-huh.
It's real rough if you're trying to solo that thing. So
Vagabondo, what's going on, sir? All right, so let me flip it on you, Flashpoint, Low Point. What is your favorite? Let's start with favorite two. What's your favorite strike first? What's the strike you get excited when it comes up?
I gotta look at the
like
list.
this.
Hold on, Destiny, because I
Okay,
feel like I'm gonna like forget something.
Zerv says Warden of Nothing. That's you know. So I'm getting some one. Come on,
Warden's
chat.
cool.
Tell me what y'all name your favorite strikes. I'm dying to know. I'm going
All right,
with.
so I'm
Festival
gonna
Core
list
for me
them
right
all off just to get a little refresher. We've got the Arms
Sure,
Dealer,
sure.
Lake of Shadows,
I have a love hate with that strike.
which Arms.
Arms dealer. I have a love. It was an exotic that they gave a cranked up version of it that
Yep.
was so annoying.
It wasn't
I forgot
that
which
bad.
exotic.
That
Oh,
was-
I hated that
one.
strike.
That one is like the easiest one to solo. I know that one like the backup. That was the
I
one I also showed
hate
you.
that
Remember,
strike.
that was the one I showed you. I'm trying to remember because I guess the burn you could pick and Void is always a good one on there. I was like, pull out your Crooked Fang. Crooked Fang
Yeah,
annihilates that
Crooked
strike.
Fang.
So
Yes,
you can do that
annihilate.
one on like riding
I
up the chain
still like
lift.
it though. I hate that he goes all far away, put the bubble up, and
See, but
the only thing that's fun.
that's another
is
bubble
nuking
mechanic,
him.
but that's you
nuking
can.
him on the way up.
Yep.
I like that part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean,
continue,
that's
continue
actually
it up.
like, that's one of those like, hey, he's in a shield. He's not just like, I'm immune. Boom, 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 boom. I'm immune. Like, he actually goes up there, has a projection shield. You got to go break his shield. He's like, oh, my shield's down. I hop off, go to the other side. Let me do the other one. Oh, broke both of those. Now I'm going to come chase you around. Like, that type of
Chris is cool.
timing, Why? He's just this little floaty guy.
Just cool. He just I don't know. Maybe it's just a Hive thing. He just looks
I was
menacing.
like, maybe
he
you
looks...
just like Hive, but yeah, he's...
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
You got Lake of
All right,
Shadows.
so you got that. Okay. Lake of Shadows is cool. It's okay. It's okay. I don't mind it.
But also you got to remember, now we're also going to weigh in with the Nightfall loot. So you got the tilt. Yes. So you got a Sparrow on Arms Dealer. Cosmetics don't do much for me. Lake of Shadows, Malicious Birthright, the first kinetic grenade launcher. It's kind of an important one. Savathun's Song. That one's always, that's the big shrieker.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a solid one.
Exodus Crash. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I threw up there a little bit.
I like Exodus Crash.
You must be the only. Somebody in chat tell me if you like Exodus Crash, because I'm pretty sure
I don't hate it. I mean, it's not like a top 3, but I don't mind it when it comes up. I don't get annoyed. I don't like. Oh, I get disgusted when it comes up.
Stand on the electricity plate first. Do that while you're defending that thing with all that crap coming at you. Then you got to go through part of Nessus, like half the map. And then when you finally fight him, more electricity floor. I'm invisible half the time. I'm warping. I'm off like, nah.
Shout out there. Shout out there. See, shout out to Dano. He said he loves it. Oh, man. Put Risk Runner on. Zeroth, no. You put that Risk Runner on, son. You're having fun. You could get him, man. And just shout out the screen. You put me a little spot that you can hide.
All right.
Continue.
So we got...
So you hate that one. You don't like that one either.
That one also has a Sparrow. So as annoying as it is, the reward isn't great. We've got the Inverted Spire. So that's the big drill.
It's the big drill. What's the boss?
Big giant Protheon?
The eye that moves around?
No. This is Inverted Spire. This is on Nessus with the big drill. It's got the 3 tiers of the boss room.
Why am I blanking on this? Jesus.
This is like the beta strike for Destiny 2 that you played over and over and over.
Oh, the drill with the thing. Yes. Yeah, that was literally the first strike we ever played.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. I'm bugging. Yeah. I completely blanked out. Yo, I had a mind fart just now.
See, that one's kind of a cool run through.
That was cool, but you know why I despised it? Because that was the debut of the primaries?
Yeah.
And it just took a while, but now it's fun. Now it's better. I agree. Okay, I don't mind it. You can melt him. You can melt him before he dropped down to the
most people do anymore. Just like and then Wardcliffe Coil, he's toast.
Tall robot. Thank you, Ice Cold, for helping me out.
And that's the one when he went to like giant mode. Do you remember when he was giant for a little while? That was pretty cool. We've got the Pyramidion. That's the Isle one, so mostly a lot of Taken. But you got the Vex boss in the end, the sniper dude with like the warping walls and stuff. Yeah. Then we got Curse of Osiris. We've got Tree of Probabilities, and we've got a Garden World. I like that one,
and I'm biased. I like
Tree?
That one.
You like Tree with the Cabal?
I like Tree. Well, you got because it's that ascent, right? That's the one when you just
no, that's
keep
a Garden
ascending
World.
Up. Damn it! Which one is that? I'm old. Yes, Vagabondo. I'm old. I'm forgetting. Which one
okay,
is
a
this?
Garden World is the one where you ascend up and then you've got the big Hydra that rotates around the circular platform. Yeah,
that goes.
That's a Garden World. Tree of Probabilities is the Cabal boss in the end, who like he has like the 3 laser rooms.
Oh, where you can melt him though before he get to the
you can
end.
Yeah, it's doable. Yeah, that's the DFA.
Yeah, I used to debut by my what's them boots? The boots we used to melt them crazy. Ludifactions. We used to use Ludifactions and get him up out of there. Yep. It's okay. It's okay. He's annoying. Actually, I take it back because you know why I don't like that. If he gets to that room, he's annoying.
Oh, he's actually he's easiest in the back room. I know exactly how to screw with him. There's a little like you can just there's the 2 sunken, the little lowered areas, and there's like kind of a large lowered rectangle, and there's like a little like pillar in that lower area. You literally stand behind there, and you either can like you jump up, and he'll like jump up, and you wait for him to jump up. Then you go down, he'll go down, and you can just screw with him the whole time. So yeah.
So you know the tricks. Yeah, for me, he's always doing that push off and knocking me off into the stratosphere.
You just got to know where to go.
Oh, get sway.
All right, so then we got Warmind, we've got Strange Terrain, and Will of the Thousands. So you got Zal and Nokris.
It's kind of epic.
Yeah,
I like Will of Thousands. I like Will. Nokris is definitely a top one for me. I love, and it's quick. Nokris is a really quick strike too. If you really go through it, that's another reason why it can be quick.
Inside
Will
Terminus.
Of Thousands.
Inside Terminus. That's the one where you fight Kargan. He's the Yeah, he's the one you kind of go through phases.
I like that one.
That one's pretty cool. Get the long goodbye sniper from that one. Then we've got Forsaken. We've got Warden of Nothing. So we know about, obviously, that one.
That's that long.
The Warden of
That
Nothing?
strike. Wait, what's the one with the Techian chick at the end and she goes
That's the
crazy?
Corrupted.
You gotta. I hate that. That's my. When that
You
strike
and my
comes up,
brother completely
I
agree,
back
but for
right-
different reasons.
I back all the way out. When I'm like, oh, not doing it. That strike is too long, bro. It is too long. Jesus. But all right, so you like Warden of Nothing? You like that one? I mean, you
No,
like
that's the Corrupted.
strike?
I never said that. I just said my brother hates that one with you. No, I'm not a huge fan of Corrupted either. Because
So what's the other one?
so you got Warden of Nothing, which is the one at the prison we just had for Nightfalls that everybody farmed.
Oh no, I love that.
That's Warden
That
of
might be
Nothing.
a top 3. That might be a top 3 because I get to hear. A new friend has arrived. I get to hear
He
my
is in there.
man.
You
That's
are correct. Yep. he's
yeah,
there.
I like that. That gives me President Elders vibes. You come down there, you get the fake out with. Oh no, that's a
Now,
that's
I
a
will
top
say
3
when you
strike.
farm that thing, the fake out sucks.
Yes.
Because you're just sitting there like, all right, I got to sit here in the prison room, wait for it to go through, fall down.
Yeah.
Let me get to the boss
Oh,
fight.
no.
I hate those type of like artificial time gate stuffs in there. So
Barracks, though, you get to hear my boy, that creepy voice. A new friend has arrived.
he's there.
That joint is amazing. And the drift is talking his best. I love that strike. That's a top 3. Continue.
Hollowed Lair.
Refresh me.
You fight the fanatic in his little room, arc floor.
Oh, good farming strike though.
I was gonna say it has everyone's favorite farming gun. Mindbender's Ambition is the one that
Yes.
strike gets farmed the most, even if people absolutely
Yes.
hate, because he has more immunity phases than anyone.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
he's,
does.
Oh, and
He-
he's even
he's
more broken
annoying.
now because now when you get like, like kind of warped into his little like teleport thing that he pulls you, his little tractor
Then he
beam
push
thing.
you in. Yeah.
I'm sitting there like, oh, you have to break a shield for him to drop you. Literally, I was playing it recently. We're breaking his shield, no shield, steel teleporting in, land, bam. Like you can't even like
Bam.
stagger him.
can't even-
because it's
Yup,
like
yeah,
broken.
you're right.
So
I agree,
like that
I
one's
agree.
broken.
Zero's like Pyramidium or Garden. Prescott likes Garden. Dado, you like the arm dealer? He says, I don't know why I like it. Really? Okay.
Arm Stealer's not bad. Prescott saying though, I don't like the corrupted people still don't know the ball mechanic. 100% true. People do not
Yeah.
get the ball mechanic on that one.
That's another
You
reason
need to-
why I hate that strike.
Yeah, no, that's trust me. Corrupted it's got some issues to it, and the fact that Horror's Least. I got lucky, but if you had to grind out Horror's Least on that one, that'd be even worse. It's the pulse rifle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the other thing that
never
came
had
with Forsaken, but I think was PS exclusive, was Broodhold, which we got recently. That's the two, like witches that like split. It's a more recent one. You have like the little worms that you put in.
Broodhole,
And,
yes.
Yeah, Broodhold.
You feel like you're in like an insect larva thing with that one is it's not memorable.
Brood
I
Queen.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. It's just So E, you still didn't give me no favorites. I want
I'm
to hear
getting to the
favorites.
last couple.
All right, continue.
Scarlet Keep. So that's Hash Ladoon.
I like that one.
That's a cool
like
one.
that
And then
Cool.
Festering Core.
Which we
Just got done talking. That's the walls that come at you. It's the
oh,
big
yeah, the
giant
dope
one
the
we
dope
just got.
Savathun.
No.
Savathun.
Oh yeah, sure.
Savathun's coming.
So for me,
Me and the Eagle. What's your favorite?
okay. So what are yours? You're saying sounds like Warden of Nothing's up there.
Yeah, one
Sounds like Strange Terrain with Nokris is up there,
Strange Terrain's up there.
and Festering Core.
Not the other Osiris one. The other what's it?
Garden World.
Garden World. Yeah, that I
No,
like
Thorn
that
in the
one. That
Past.
big eyeball and the giant. Those are like top 4 right there, give or take. Definitely. The rest are all good. The only ones I despise, like I told you, 2 I despise.
Yeah.
That damn.
Yeah. So low on my list: Exodus Crash, low, easy.
Yeah, you hate that. Yeah.
Corrupted, low. Festering Core was cool, but I think it may have just been because it was new. So I don't know where I rank that one because I've only played it literally one time. And you had to like,
Oh yeah, you haven't played it. It's
but
the
like
scale
the
of it.
it was really really cool. It reminded me not quite Whisper for scale, but it had like big long to go down. It had the cool mechanics
to
with
go
the
down
walls, and that one was pretty cool. Like I enjoyed just kind of the uniqueness of that one. Scarlet Keep was pretty cool too. Like I'll be
It was
honest,
cool.
Scarlet
That
Keep
was a great debut strike for Shadowkeep.
That was like our only one though.
Try to give
We
us a
got
prop.
one. I'm looking through trying to see what I enjoyed.
Look at all that. What's the one that when it comes up, you smile, you get excited? I gotta hear that first. Let's start from the top. I want to know what's the favorite. at least the two that when they come up, you're like, yeah, boy, I'm about to put in some work.
I've played so many strikes. I don't know if any of them do that anymore.
Come on,
Seriously,
something
like
gotta excite you. You ain't cold on it. You something
it's
you
a
like.
strike. Like,
We know it's not a dungeon, E. Yes.
well, no,
we
but I mean,
understand.
like, we've played them for years now. It's like to be excited about them is like,
I'm just saying it still holds a special place when it first happened. But which one was it? I'm challenging you. When it first came up, you were like, "Oh, this is cool."
wait,
I
first
like
time I
this."
played it or now?
Either or.
Thank you, Insane Monkey, with the sub, by the way. I was wondering what that
Salute.
was.
Oh, challenge. Gotta like something.
I was like, Warden's pretty
What
cool.
about story? Which one?
Warden is pretty cool with the Prison of Elders because you got the throwback.
Mm,
Even if I get
yes.
annoyed by it, and I even played it as much as I did recently, it's still got
Yes.
it's got the trains, which are cool because you
The
got the
tra-
sparrows in there. So there's actually a
Yes.
sparrow section to a strike,
Let's
which
go.
has its ups and downs.
Mhm.
So that one's pretty cool. I got to be honest.
Nice. That's cool.
I want to
Good,
play. I need to
good.
play Festering Core like a couple more times to be honest because
Yes.
that one's pretty cool.
Mhm.
I will say, like, Mercury past Garden World, the one you're talking about, not even as much the boss room, because that one gets annoying.
It
when
can get
you-
annoying.
when you
but
are by
the
yourself.
ascent. Tell me the ascent is fire.
Honestly, it's not even the ascent. It's like the opening section. I just love past Mercury.
Oh, it's beautiful.
The aesthetic
Beautiful.
of that, like the
Oh,
world,
it's
like
beautiful.
the pink
I'm with
trees,
you.
the
Talk
yellow
that on
grass,
Cyrus Talk.
just
Keep-
like.
keep it going. Woo. Keep it going. I like when you. I like
Oh,
where
I'm
you
done.
at.
Okay,
right?
moving on.
Keep talking about it. Because it's those bright colors, right? It's very vibrant and the flora and everything
Yeah.
is living how it used to be.
I was like, and this is
then
going to be like
Osiris
probably
is talking
like
his talk.
this is probably going to be weird, but honestly, like the of the older strikes, especially Inverted Spire and Pyramidion, are both ones that I like for very different reasons. Like the Inverted Spire, you have like the giant drill you're going across. You've got
Yeah,
the
you got the-
like the scale of some of the strikes. Like
It's a
are
big strike.
Inverted
It's a big
Strike
strike.
Spire is really just the scale is very grand. Like the 3 levels of the boss room. That's like a rare boss room that changes. You fight him on different levels, very different mechanics in each level as opposed to just like running around and shooting you. That's why that's why Exodus Crash I don't like. He's just like, hey, I'm invisible, I'm gonna shoot you. I'm invisible, I'm gonna shoot you, and the room never changes. Inverted Spire, you have 3 different phases of stuff. Like one, you got a lot of X. You got the harpies up top. Down in the bottom, he's in the electricity outside. Then he's like marching up at you when he gets all pissed off and you blow his head off. Like the feeling of the boss fights more, and that's why Nokris doesn't do as much for me because he literally just like he's there and then he shoots you from there and then he wanders and shoots you like, and all you're doing is throwing the balls to like break him through levels, but you have to do it every time. You can't be like, hey, I got through the first one, oh, let's nuke him on the second one. You never get to nuke him. Period.
No, you never get to do it. You can't.
Unless you do it in the first like 3 seconds. So
Yep. All right, we're getting some man. Where did you feel about Will of the Thousand? How did you feel about it?
Zal in and of himself is kind of cool, but also it's a worm god, so it's kind of a letdown at the same time.
Yeah, it's a.
I was like,
it
it's a hive
moment.
worm god, and then you're like, and then I just kind of like,
I feel we
took him
shouldn't
out.
have beat him with conventional weapons.
No.
We should have had to do a mechanic to beat him.
yeah, and the Valkyrie
'Cause
was
he's too
an
powerful to
option
just-
to clear ads,
Yeah.
but it wasn't required.
Yeah.
So I know
Shout out to
everybody's
Black
probably
Wings.
going,
Black
pick
Wings
a
like Will
goddamn
of the Thousand.
strike, but I would probably.
No, you did, though.
I was like, Warden's pretty solid. Scarlet Keep was an awesome one. I think I really enjoyed that one. And then Inverted Spire Inverted Spire is cool for one reason because you got the levels. The Pyramidion, when I solo that one on my own, had a pretty good little like kind of fist pump moment to him as well because it was learning the way the room shifts what geometry's in the room.
Yeah.
Then they're like little subtle things. So I was like, all right, so I know when I hit him here, I know when to run. I know, and so it's those little things for me. Like I have very different thoughts about that stuff of how I play them. So
Fair enough. We got some answers out of E. Got some favorites. Challenged him a bit. This is a good one. Strikes, favorite strikes, man. That's a good one. It shows us how badly we miss strikes, though, right?
yeah, I mean, it's like when you can
look how
think
excited
about
we got.
yeah, it's like think about all those and how many that you look back on. You're like, oh, I do remember that one, and even like Savathun's song, like running the orb, and then now you've got the ogre champions and you've got the 2 shriekers. Like, I hate the double shrieker room when you're trying to like run through the little gauntlet of, all right, did I time it right? So painful on a Nightfall too. But yeah, it's also like Arms Dealer. Like you can hop up the chain, get him to spawn early, hang down at the bottom, and kill him before you get to the. So like there are cool things about those. And when you think about what do we have now, we have our bunkers, which are going to go away. We had Sundial, which goes away, and that's kind of a perfect little segue into one of these topics.
Let's do it.
All this like FOMO, the whole FOMO of content leaving, not having anything, and that's some people were saying. I saw it on Reddit or something, and they were saying people aren't like Curse of Osiris. They're like, we're not saying Curse of Osiris was good, but like it was for one, people are liking it better than Season of the Worthy, which is Curse of Osiris.
I saw the tweet.
Low.
Somebody put Curse of Osiris better than Season of the Worthy. I was like, yo,
but also
look
like
how low we have fallen.
But it left stuff in the game. There's permanent fixtures that are still there, so you can go back and experience them. Good, bad, or otherwise. Like Panoptes, honestly, I really wish that was a strike because Panoptes is awesome.
I wish that was a strike. I agree.
Even if like the mechanic like with him in there probably wouldn't be a hard strike. That's why it's hard because Osiris is in there helping you out, and you gotta you know travel through the two sides and run the orbs and stuff, and it'd be weird. But
I agree.
It's still fun, and
I feel that freeing Saint 14 should be a part of the strike play. The Saint 14 joints.
That second one for sure.
Oh, fire! Like they need this. Is the only thing that killed. It pains me that some of story missions are just stuck in that. You know what I'm saying? Like they need those need to be pulled over the strikes. In my opinion, I love those. And there's some really good story beats, man. So I would definitely think they should consider that, man. Adding that into a strike pool since they ain't giving us no new strikes.
Yeah, go put like saving Saint 14 in there, whatever you want to call it. I don't care, but yeah, the Saint 14 mission. That was a cool fight. He's teleported in. He comes out. Like there are ways to probably tweak that, whatever you need to for like 3 people in a match made strike. It's probably doable. Yeah, 100%.
I like the bubble one too. I like the bubble one too.
Bubble.
I like the. I like the.
The bubble mission. Gotcha.
The bubble mission, and I even like
the one
where
really have a
he's
boss,
trapped.
or was it just like waves?
It was kind of like waves. It was like endless waves while he's in the bubble, and it's like protect. You know, he's in protect.
It'd be an interesting mechanic where you just have this like infinite bubble that you can kind of pass in and out of, and they just kind of like throw stuff at you. But
I agree. Yeah, these are great missions that I just like. Dramatic saying they just wasted because it's like you do them. They're one and dones. That's what I call them. They're one and dones, and you're really not going back to it any other time for the game. And it's a shame because they put in a lot of quality development. They're really well acted. You know what I'm saying? It's really good story beats. And some of those moments are epic Destiny moments that need to be relived.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we give Curse of Osiris crap before. It's like, and I know I even did too, but it's like when you look back and you think of like, hey, it's a mission that turns into a strike. Yeah, I would rather have that now. Like you go through a mission, like you said, Saint 14, and then now that second one, especially on like Future Vex, when it's all dark and gloomy and like the big Minotaur running around, you got to kill him, Saints calling out, and I'm like, please, absolutely throw that in there.
I agree. Dano's challenging
you. So Dano,
I tried to get him to commit.
No, I got a solo pit first, and then I will answer that. Until I do, that's off the table. I haven't soloed it. I got to. I'm slow and behind, so I definitely need to do that. I've actually thought about doing recently, but I'm trying to play other things because we are in kind of a slow time. So at some point, I will work on soloing Pit and then see. It seems like now would be a good time because we're likely over-leveled, especially if they're going to introduce higher difficulties, which I've heard rumbling rumors of, but generally, yeah. There was a whole segue. Oh, the whole FOMO thing.
FOMO. Let's get it.
Yeah, so we have the Vex Offensive, which that's not really one I'm like striving to see in the game.
Right.
But it is unfortunate things don't stay around because you're like, hey, I'm going to go, hey, what's all this stuff going on with Garden of Salvation? Well, there was this Vex invasion, and then you can go to the, Vex Offensive, and you can fight the Undying Mind.
At that point.
Like, okay, why can't the moon just always have that going on?
Memory.
Because, but I was like, and this is where they get the whole, you had to be there type thing, sort of. But also on the other side, I mean, that's kind of why the whole annual pass wasn't a bad thing, because people go back and play the Forges and be like, oh, those were cool. They still can.
Right.
You can't go back and see the Corridors of Time. You can't go save Saint 14 again. You can't go see you can't even see the Vex public events on the moon, which were cool.
Yeah.
That animation
that
in the
cool.
sky alone.
In the sky was fire. Yeah,
Dude,
absolutely.
that was so cool. So,
absolutely.
And and Luke Smith did say in the director's cut, we lean too heavy into the FOMO.
Right.
So this is the question I want to ask, because we are talking about FOMO, but at some point, this world has to evolve because it can't keep growing, and we know that.
Right.
So with the pyramid ship sitting on the outside, Leviathan sitting by Nessus, what do you think is gonna go or get taken out to add, say, you've got a Europa or a Dreadnought? Like, what gets just like nixed off of that director and replaced by something? What do you think we lose to gain new stuff? What's on your chopping block?
That's a good one. Man, that's a good one. Because it's gonna segue me into what my point is about this, which is I wanted, if stuff goes away, right, which has got to happen, which is making me choose now, which I got to think about. But I want cataclysmic loss. I want to feel a way like when Cade got killed, but times 10, like a whole planet. Like
Leviathan swallows Nessus and drives away.
Leviathan got to come swallow Nessus up, or attack on Titan, and Sloane gets killed, and I need whoever the inhabitants are needs to feel the weight of their area lost. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I need. So we need some kind of.
What are we picking here? What are we picking? I'm gonna list them off for you. Mars, Mercury, then you've got Io, Nessus, Titan, EDZ's not going anywhere.
EDZ.
And the moon. Those are, and then you got Dreaming City and Tangled Shore as well. So
I would hate Dreaming City.
I don't think that goes until it's resolved.
Yeah, we still got to resolve. So I think that's out. Nobody ain't doing nothing on Titan. Blow that up. Blow it up, man. Blow it up,
I will say, if I ever need to do like patrols and public events, though, that is the easiest planet to do those on.
It's the easiest. I would not miss Titan, man. Do something more Titan. Easy dramatic. We're not doing that Mercury talk. You're going to stop that. You're going to stop
Osiris
that.
isn't even on Mercury. All you're doing is blowing up Brother Vance. Osiris isn't even there right now.
You're going to stop the Brother Vance slander. That man
You're
is
not
devoted.
a Brother Vance fan. You're an Osiris fan.
I do like Brother Vance. No, I do. I hate what they did to him, but I do like. I like old Vance. I like Vance D1 Vance, the more prophetic, disciple kind of guy, as opposed to the
So our narrative writer Prescott says Titan, Mercury, and Nessus are all three I could see from a narrative
Titan
way
and
to
Nessus.
explain away.
Yeah, Titan and Nessus. Mercury, it kind of still fits with Trial, so you can't really get rid of Mercury right now because that's where Saint 14 is rewarding you.
What?
And Osiris pops up every 3 or 4 DLCs. So we gotta leave Mercury alone. Plus, it's small. It's a little cul-de-sac. Come on, chill. We just got sparrows there.
Like
Relax.
Zero on the other side, Nessus may be the one that actually goes, because if you remove one planet on that director, you actually clear out a lot of space in the game. You remove Leviathan, raids.
Yeah.
You have all of those, but that's like year 1 raids. Do you say that they're enough? I mean, do you say that unless they're planning to bring the raids back, like, do you say like, hey, if we do want to bring a raid into this game, we got to get rid of a raid and apartment 2B and the penthouse and the planet and the tribute hall. Well,
let's break it down. Leviathan is the ship. The raid itself is the ship. The first one, right? All of it is the ship. So in a sense, Nessus could go. In a sense, because Leviathan houses the raids.
So it's just like, hey, so Callus talked to the Vanguard, and for the ship to still run, it has to swallow Nessus. So it's going to be on the director just as the Leviathan, but Nessus is going to go, and it's going to get Pac-Man'd, and then it's going to be gone. So
I'll miss failsafe.
Everybody cool with that? Oh, sad failsafe.
I'll miss failsafe.
Failsafe still. Hilarious. Yeah, it's like, even I hate Exodus Crash, but it's like, anytime you're listening to failsafe, especially talk about Cade, it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So that would be that. I think you can't touch the EDZ. I'll tell you what. You can't touch the EDZ.
I don't think so, because that's where I mean, we're on Earth, so until like
Yeah.
we're moving on out of the solar system, I think EDC's permanent.
Yep, EDZ's permanent.
Mars, I don't think goes because of Warmind right now, and Rasputin
Warmind,
being
yeah.
kind of a home.
Mars is almost impervious because of story beats.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because of Warmind, you can't get rid of Rasputin, even though they could do something cool and show you the power of the darkness that got Rasputin up out of there. I mean, it would be very dramatic being that they just did this season, so I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
But to me, I just feel like whatever happens, it has to be a weighted death. We got to care.
Yeah, I mean, like, Cade was a big
Cade.
deal. Yeah, Cade was a big deal.
Whatever it is, we've got to care. Like, yo.
I'm not going to care about Sloane, I'm going to be honest.
True.
So, when you talk about having a death matter, any of the planetary event, are you really gonna be bent, like, hurt over like Ashermere?
That's my man, though.
I know, but it was like he doesn't quite have the staying power in the game.
He's like a top 5 NPC for me, by the way. Yeah, you're right.
I was like, trust me, he's got his like stick up his butt so much. He's he's hilarious, but he doesn't have the staying power that makes him stay around. And like,
he doesn't have that
as Zero
power.
says, he's like, where's the Dreaming City and Aldrin story? That's the other. We have the ships, but like, I have to imagine if the ships are like off in another galaxy and now they're on the edge of our solar system.
Mm-hmm. That's where they're going.
Like, if they made that far of a trip, how long is it going to take for them to go from Kuiper Belt to Earth over the course of like 6 months? If they've made this journey so far, I'm like, is it September? Now, I guess the question is if that is September, if they're like, okay, Shadowkeep is a new narrative, screw all the old stuff, which is which could be what they're doing, and then maybe like
which could be what they're doing.
Seasons bring in like other little stuff, but the big like this year 3. Yeah, 3. Year 3 is Shadowkeep. We saw the pyramid ship. We've got the time travel. Now we're seeing like the ship pyramids starting to come in with Warmind. Next season is going to be the one where you don't want to miss it. You kind of want to be there. Building into year 4, is that when the pyramid ships come? And then if that's that whole arc when we finally get them in, even Paul Tassi's like, for the love of God, get them here. If you read his article at one point. Then you still have Dreaming City sitting out there and we're like, Dreaming
City could still be handled in
as like a season,
an annual
like
pass.
Is that where you
in
do a season? Okay.
Yeah, because you could sell Aldrin on his own as an annual pass expansion. You literally could. You could have him as an NPC. We all thought, I mean, it's not looking good for our predictions on him coming right now, but hopefully we get, it's not looking good. It's looking spooky right for us right now. But and then did you hear the spoilers about this season about who's coming?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so we will not discuss it. We'll leave it. Okay.
No.
But so once I found that out about who's
talking about like year 3 of the previous game,
about a character who
Rise of yes, yeah, I got you.
Yes,
yeah.
Okay, and whose helmet is currently disabled.
Yeah, I was being vague. You just truly failed at that one, by the way. Hey guys, it's this one.
Just to make sure we're on the same page.
It's this one. Right here. This picture.
We gotta talk about it. We haven't talked about it. That was actually the first time, because we've had guests on. We hadn't had a chance to talk about those data mines and those things. So we'll see. But I agree. I think that Aldrin is powerful enough for his own season. I think.
There's going to be, that would be one, be like, all right, we're doing a season of Aldrin. Cinematics team is like, all right, I'm ready. We're going to have some crazy stuff go down in the tower. I am pumped about this one. Yep. Aldrin and Zavala, and then you're going to have Ikora walk in and just deck the dude, if not try and put a Nova Bomb in his stomach. Like, she's going to be pissed.
Thanos says, to be honest, I didn't know who Cognito was talking. Oh, my bad, bro. Look, you guys are going to find out, man. You guys, it's coming. It's coming.
So this is why you don't say spoilers. And this is why I was like, hey, the Rise of. That's pretty vague. Hey, that helmet that's disabled. I wonder what that one is in the game.
It could be any helmet. I'm joking. All right,
anyway,
I blew that one. Yeah. I blew that one. But it's
You need to put like spoiler warning in 3, 2, 1.
one,
Cognito spoils
two.
it. Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
So potentially there is that past like this season, which is also without spoilers, by the way.
Right.
Is going to be a thing where it's like maybe that's more of next season coming up, and that's kind of like a revisit. So it's like there's a lot. It's like reading a book and we can't flip to the next page.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah,
like
we
we don't know what's coming, and they have like 3 big options they can go
They got
between.
3
The
huge
spoilery question, the thing we just got done seeing on Io with the pyramid ships. That's not spoilers. It's in the game. Go play.
It's in the game. Mm-hmm.
And then Aldrin potentially with Dreaming City and that cinematic as because it's been like Curse of Osiris, Warmind 2.0, Forsaken 2.0 would be fitting somewhere coming up if they're going in that cadence. Or the Dreaming City is not the big deal and it's the ships. If it's not one of those, then possible spoiler type stuff. And it's like, I don't know which one. What would, if you had to pick one of those right now for, so like, okay, say season 11. What do you think? Season 11 and September. What do you want in September? Of those 3. And if you say spoiler, say spoilery.
I'm going to say something controversial.
I love how you just say it, and then we'll decide if it's controversial.
It's controversial. I want
Trials to go. That's controversial.
Hey, easy. You behave your damn self.
I don't actually. That's just messing with you. Anyways.
As much as I want Savathun to come and have our Taken Queen thing, part of me feels it's a rehash of another September because we just did Shadowkeep with. I'm tired of Hive being the ultimate big bad for the expansion, right? I think let's be real.
Because he had
D2,
Taken King, yeah,
we had Taken King. But here's the thing: when D2 launched, the big launch was Cabal. They needed that shine, right? Cabal needed that level, right? I just think that as much as I love the story, and it'll be good, we gotta give Eris and the Hive a break for the expansion part. And we really gotta dive deep with the other races for an expansion level, which means we get strikes, which means we get, you know what I'm saying? So, and trust me, I love the Hive. They're the coolest to do. You know what I'm saying? But I think September, all right, if it comes, I won't be mad, but I'm like, I could see people who don't follow Destiny like, here they go again, another Hive, the Taken Queen, they just remixing everything, you know what I'm saying? I could see that narrative, you know what I'm saying? And I kind of want some different whether it be, I don't know if Fallen can take it, because they're kind of like, they're all dismantled, they're all over the place. And then, put it this way, I wouldn't even be mad if Callus, let's be real, like Callus still needs to be addressed, right? Callus needs to be addressed. We have not really addressed this Callus thing. He's another, I don't want to fight the robot, the twin, anymore. Like, it would be cool to say, okay, you know what? We done hunted you down, we smoked you out. Let's get, to the bottom of this mystery. Who are you? Where are you? Let's get this going and let's do this for real kind of thing. Or he secretly appeals as someone as the mastermind behind, you know what I'm saying, something. So, yeah. Damn, Dana, where's the loyalty? Your bosses leave, now you're leaving the pot. Damn, Dana. I see where we at. Your man is back, though. But, yeah, man, like, at the end of the day, I just want them to pick another species boss for the big expansion, as opposed to, even though probably Savathun does deserve it. What do you think? September. What do you
big grand hopes, but I don't see it. Yeah. Is the pyramids. It's what I want. I want those as soon as I can get them, but I don't want specifically Savathun. I want the Veil.
You want the enemy race.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, that's why I want it, but I don't see it. Development time, development cycle, a new race, a new complete scale of game, dark, light, all that. That's a game. That's D3.
That's a D3.
And that's why I was like, that's the one. That's not what I'm probably going to see.
But whatever it is in September still has to be grand. It's still big enough that it won't be that big, right? Like you said, but it still it will be epic. It will hold weight. It will transform the game on a big level, just not as big as a 3 level, but That's why I'm just curious. Like, what do you think
All
they
right,
could
I'm
do,
gonna
or do you
set a
just say
timer.
Sabathun?
I'm gonna set a timer for
Yes.
approximately 5 minutes.
Yes.
We can talk about spoilers for 5 minutes because we have to for this one. If you
Yes.
don't want to know, you can skip ahead exactly 5 minutes, and you will avoid any spoilers, leaks, and other stuff that have happened. So we're gonna get ready. Big spoiler warning. In
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Here we
Go
go.
for it.
Okay, so with the spoilers, we potentially have Siva coming. That's
Yes.
between the renders, the ornaments, the transmat effects, and all that stuff. You have the potential rendered picture of people showing the giant war mind with Siva down under there. We have possibly the idea of Fellwinter, who we fought in Rise of Iron. You have the potential leak. This is all spoilers, guys. So
This is all
you got
spoilers.
warning.
We
if
totally
you want-
warned y'all.
Yep, big warning. So you have potentially the fact that we get Fellwinter's Lie. The ornament is in the damn game, his shotgun. We
Right.
fought
Yep.
Fellwinter at the end of Rise of Iron. Do we fight him
And
again? Do we have another
Talking about a
interaction?
resurrection or something. to that
So then
effect.
the question is, do we have Siva involved?
Right.
So that's the big other spoiler one is Siva going to be the thing for next season? Or is Siva going to be like the bigger invasion takeover, like bigger issue in the fall? Do we lead it? Or is Siva, like, do you think Siva is season 11 first?
Siva feels next season-ish.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Because I feel they're going to lead us up. They'll cliffhanger us. Something happens. You know, we get the Fellwinter, but Siva has to come back. Because that, let's be honest, like Siva, they've got new enemy. They've got enemy types and stuff that they can use. They got assets that they can use.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't be stress on the B team. Let's be real. Like
We made it this far into the episode without it. Anyway, we got 3.5 minutes. We got to use it. So,
bro, Siva splicers, all those enemy types.
Oh,
remember
yeah.
from Rise of Iron? We sitting on stuff, so we could utilize that.
but this is just
yeah.
a reskin. It's just a reskin.
I don't know. You know that we gonna get that. We gonna get that. We gotta eat that. But again, we haven't seen when was Rise of Iron? What, 3 years ago? 2 years ago? I don't even remember. How
3.
long.
It'll be 3 in September.
It's been enough to be missed, and I would like. Remember they used to throw the little Siva balls at you. It would be cool to see the splices out here running around. You know. So that's that. Yeah, Fellwinter Resolution. So that would be.
So
when would
that's
that
season
DLC
11.
Right. Okay.
So say
That would
Siva's
be-
season 11. Say that wraps, and then what do you put in September if not the pyramids?
It's gotta be Sabathun. Sabathun has to be big.
So some
Much
Dreaming
as-
City scale, that her thing,
Yeah.
not pyramids, her thing, like whatever.
Yeah.
So you
her
don't.
thing.
So you think pyramids are still later, like year
Still
4
later.
D3 or year 5
Yes.
D3, whatever that is.
Sabathun has been manipulating behind the scenes for so long. Listen, do that strike, man. That strike, they literally give you the playbook of how she's going to be introduced. Listen to everything Era says.
Yeah, I gotta play that again.
Oh, it's an amazing lore strike. She's the manipulator. She will only reveal her hand when we're ready. We better be hopeful that we're ready. What's the art actress that does Era? She's amazing in that strike. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
Morla Gorondona. Yeah.
Morla is amazing in that strike. Please do that strike if you haven't. I love that strike. It's a fun strike too.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think we do that, and then we could sneak maybe shout out to Black Wing. Maybe we could sneak Aldrin in there. We gotta get
Yeah.
some
So I mean, yeah,
epicness.
Dreaming City, Aldrin, Savathun,
Yeah.
all of that going down for September. You have seasons
Yes.
around that build slowly towards pyramids in 2021.
Yes.
I mean, that
I'd
was
say
our hope before was
2021.
2021, but
Yeah,
now
I say 2021 September.
yeah, I mean that feels
Consoles will
like
be
it
out.
kind of fits.
Yep. Consoles will be out. They'll be a year into the cycle.
Yep.
You know, PS5, Xbox Series X. They're
Please
getting
let
used
this
to it.
be next gen only.
I know it does need to.
That's one
It
big
does
thing.
need to.
We got 1 minute, then we can go back to that stuff. But
Yeah.
anything else?
let me
Spoiler
see.
territory. So
Oh,
okay, here
we forget one. We gotta get resolution on the drifter choice. Remember?
Yeah, we'll see if that actually pans out. I think that was like an experiment. I don't know if that's ever
Yeah.
going to do anything. So,
But we made it. It said it. Literally, the narrative said it will affect a
I
major
know.
choice in the game. But the question is when, right? When is it going to be affect a choice with light and dark all the way down the road to D3? Is it going to carry over, or is it still within D2? It's a good one. Blackwing, wrap the Forsaken story for the love of God. Damn.
No, I'm with Black Wings on that one. Like that, I want like the Dreaming City in Limbo for so long kind of hurts for them because you go talk to Petra and she's just like, it's another week. I hate my life. I'm stuck here forever. This is terrible. Like it sucks. Like that's pretty terrible for him. All right, 15 seconds.
I love that. 15. That's all I got. So, like, unless you can think of something else.
I was gonna say 10 seconds. Shotgun, good or bad? Do you want another shotgun as a reward for this crazy spoiler thing?
At this point, I'm indifferent. I mean, it is what
okay,
it is.
time's up. Time's up. Spoilers over. Spoilers over. Okay. So, off of spoilers. That was one topic we kind of talked about in there, so we're going to jump back in. Our feelings over the course of the future of Destiny kind of sitting at that 2021 D3 hopeful timing.
Do it.
But no, the next gen conversation. You see the controller come out. We got Series X, PlayStation's finally getting off their butt and talking a little bit.
Finally, let's go.
But the big thing is, can they go exclusive next gen? Do you think that I so want them to?
I think they have to.
I
think
hope
they have
so.
To. Because it's like, you got the new SSD. You got and then by then they'll have
the game will be
year.
designed differently.
The game will be designed different, and then by then you'd have a year of what's my point, of development time with the system. The install base of the next generation consoles will be up more after a full year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think you got to do it. You know what I'm saying? And what you do is you can bring over, because they're so good with cross save, right? You just bringing over your account. You know what I'm saying? You want to stay over there. You know, D2 it'll be up for a while. It'll still be, living. Nothing will be getting updated.
Trials and Iron Banner, they just kind of cycle through.
Cycle through. It's time. It's time, man. I think you can't. The tech is so vast to downscale it. That's a lot of work, man.
I was like, and especially as they're kind of stuck on, you have a 160 gigabyte game, but it's like that is the thing about next gen. Both have the SSDs, and it's the technology and speed that they can use. You don't have like, hey, picture the Dreaming City. You land. Oh, I'm gonna go drive through the cave to get to the next area. It's just an area. There is no cave. There is no baby loading cave for every lost sector, every in-between little area. There's no in-between fake loading places. It just goes.
That's
like I literally want a picture because like things like Uncharted, Tomb Raider. Hold on, let me slowly shimmy through these two little rocks. Yeah, all of that stuff doesn't have to be in those games. Potentially, by the description of what the hardware is saying, is that I want to see the games that are built off of that.
Bro, think about this: 6-player patrols.
Think about easy.
The whole thing they were talking about, the rumor, the PvE VP. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In the open space, Guardians.
Well, that's if you go light versus dark. That's the lore
if you go light versus dark. Yeah, the potential is there, but the tech has to be ready, and the tech to do it is only exclusive. So they've got to do it. I think with them delaying things, and pushing things out, extending things out, I think we got a good shot. Financially, they could pull it. They're still on enough platforms where they can make their money. You know what I'm saying? They're on Stadia.
You can launch D3 on Stadia. It doesn't matter.
Stadia.
It's locked. It's in its upgraded hardware. There we go. We got the strong servers for D3. SSD.
All jokes aside, though. Yep, SSD. All jokes aside, what saves them is them on PC now. They're getting this huge base that prior was just a console thing, which was 2 consoles. That was it. Now you add what? Look. Is it like the D2 PC base, like number 1 or at least 2?
It's number 2. PlayStation squeaks it out. They're actually honestly pretty even when you look through Discord. They're all even. But yeah, they're all. I think it's like PlayStation, PC, Xbox, but they're all relatively close. Closer than I honestly thought. I figured like PlayStation, Xbox, PC, but PC's bigger. Xbox is like dead even, and PlayStation's only like probably not even 10% above. They were all really close. Now here's the question. This is the question about PC. If you're going to make a game, say like D3, and you're going to develop it for PS5 and you're going to develop it for Xbox, they have an SSD at a minimum, PCI 3.0, pretty fast throughput. PlayStation has its faster one. Either way, both pretty powerful things. Your minimum system requirements for next-gen games now have to have an SSD with the throughput of an NVMe.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, nerd out moment, sorry in advance. Spinning platter hard drives, and if you guys don't know what I mean by that, the really slow ones that seem to take a while to load. Those, like, literally load your information at about 50 to 100 megabytes per second. It's not that fast.
Yep.
Your little, when I say credit card SSDs, those are the ones you can kind of slide into a PS4. Those are fairly quick. They're at about 500 megabytes. Forgive me if I screw that terminology up. Bits or bytes. But that's like 500, 550. Usually is about where those cap out. And they're not bad, but a Samsung, 860 EVO that I've got in mind, it's like, it's cool, but it's not the... Now, NVMEs literally plug straight into the motherboard. They run at anywhere from 2 to 3,000, and the PCIe 4.0 is sitting at like 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 megabits. So we're talking like, even just from the credit card, which we're not even on, to the NVMe, you're talking about 6x speed. So if you're actually going to develop a game that's going to run on the next-gen consoles, which probably are almost better than my computer, and mine's not bad.
Right.
The system requirements on games like that are going to be really interesting to see how they handle that stuff, because if somebody's like, hey, you can play it on PC, normally it's like, you need this CPU and you need this GPU to be able to run this thing. Well, now it's going to say you need the CPU, you need this GPU, and you need an NVMe SSD with a minimum of that. And I'm like, that's interesting.
That's where we're going.
I'm hoping for it, because that changes the way games are made.
We got an article up right now on lordsofgaming.net, and I'll put it in the chat for you guys. It's a PS5 exclusive. It's called the game's called Quantum Error, right? And pretty much I don't know too much about this game, so I'm just but one of the features, they were speaking to the developer, and one of the features was that it requires the SSD. It's PS5 exclusive and PC. And they're saying that it's not coming to PS4 because of, initially by that team, like it's going to be a separate team down the road, ETA, almost like what they did with, have you ever seen like the 360 version of Titanfall and all that? It's a completely different game. It's
not the same.
They don't have like the cloud stuff in it. They don't have a lot of different things in it. It's that kind of vibe I'm getting. So if the developers are already on this mindset now, I could easily see that happening with the next generation console. These SSDs are night and day. Even the Xbox Series X, they're telling you, yes, you can put your old games on the new SSD and play it, but you can't put Xbox Series X games and try to connect your big Western Digital old school
your USB passport. Yeah.
That's a wrap.
You can store them on those, but to play them, said it's got to be on the Seagate or the internal. Same thing with PlayStation. It's got to be on the NVMe level hard drive, and it's like, I
think they're conditioning us right now.
I'm honestly kind of excited of what that's going to do for gaming.
Bro, I love it, because thanks to you getting me on PC, and it just gave me that taste of all this I've been missing. Right, I haven't bought a PC in over years. You helped me build out my rig. I get the rig, and I'm like, wow, PC gamers over my rig, console gamers over my rig would be losing their mind, right? These new systems blow my system away. You know what I'm saying?
Well, hardware-based ray tracing, NVMe SSD loading speeds of just, that was the thing. And that's where it's like PlayStation, Xbox, they're both going to be amazing. This is just an example from the conference of PlayStation. Take your cone of vision in front of you and just say it's like, periphery is about 170 degrees, probably not perfectly 180. As you turn your character, it's literally loading what you're turning to in real time, because it can literally pull about 5 compressed to like uncompressed, like 8 to 9 gigabytes of information per second to like load in as you turn. So like I'm looking in a house, there's not that much in there. And literally, I don't have to worry about anything. I just turn and it's loading as literally the screen pans. It's dumping that stuff into the screen.
Yes.
And then as I pay, and that stuff behind, it's not like, hey, let me go into a zone and look, let me go through this little hallway, getting rid of that stuff, loading in that stuff. Nuh-uh. It's just like turn, look, run, go in a house. Big living room. Cool. It's all here. Run, and you literally run out a door straight outside. Like, can you imagine if you were like in the tower, you ran down through the last city and then just jumped on your Sparrow to go into EDZ?
Bro,
just straight through.
Fire.
No stopping.
And that's where these CPUs are really going to help. All that open world constraints are really going to be alleviated. It's going to be exciting, man. I can't wait for the patches for the consoles just to get, patches for D2, right? Just so they
yeah.
can even see what we experiencing right now that we go
Oh
crazy.
yeah, when you go cross save onto PS5 and Series X and you load up and you're like, your eyes go like because your field of view and then you're like blown away by the 60 frames and stuff. Oh, yeah, you won't go back. I will promise you. Once you have been tarnished by the wonderfulness that is the greatness of 60 frames and high res and all that fun stuff, you won't go back. So.
Yep, it's a fact. It's a fact, man. That's where we are right now.
And then, can you picture ray tracing in D3?
Woo! That excites me.
That's a pretty game right there because it's already pretty right now.
It's already pretty right now. We got that, man. It's so much, man. All these new techniques, RDNA 2.0 and all the things you can do. That's just the tools to make it easy for development. Then they would alleviate these issues that we're talking about.
Which
always
I'm glad, by the way. Sorry to cut you.
Mm-hmm. No, go for it.
DirectX 202 Ultimate is like just what everybody's going to use for ray tracing. I'm so glad it's universal, so everybody figures it out together. So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was all. Sorry, just that little thing.
Keep
talking, on ray tracing being.
I have to mute myself for a second. Keep talking.
Oh, you're good. Yeah. So ray tracing itself is. You guys may care about it, may not, but it's just the level of realism that you get. Like, you put a chrome shader on your weapon, you're looking down that weapon. It would be like kind of amazing if you could literally like look on the side of your weapon and then to the left of you, you see an enemy in the reflection of your chrome shadered gun. Like, it's to the point where the reflections are actually potentially going to be that cool if ray tracing was real and powerful. So that's one of those like little tiny things to look forward to of like, I have a chrome gun off to the left. There's an enemy and I can see him in there, or I can see you next to me. Like, that's the level of detail you get, and it's just that immersion.
Hardware accelerated ray tracing is going to change the game on a lot of levels. That's going to be oh man, you have no idea. Like, I am so excited, and then just to hear both consoles, both Sony and Microsoft say, look, we understand what's going on with the pandemic, but China manufacturing has come back online. They do not anticipate any delays that we're going to get these systems
I bet
this
the
year.
Supplies are going to be small.
Right.
Though.
Now, that's where I'm in agreement with.
Yeah, like how many can you get? Well, there's 10,000 for the U.S. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Like, you better get your pre-order on for those, who's going to do it. I can't. Yeah, shout out to Dan on Halo. Look absolutely beautiful with ray tracing. They even put HDR in games that didn't even exist. Like, to show you what it would look like on a lot of these back-to-back games. Man, I'm hyped.
You guys ever want to see what ray tracing actually really does? It is the stupidest game to compare it in. Go play Minecraft with ray tracing, or go see a video of Minecraft with and without ray tracing. It is Minecraft, are you serious? It is the dumbest comparison, but is the most drastic comparison that I have seen, because you look in Battlefield and you're like, hey, I'm looking at this truck and there's a little water on the ground, and if I move, I can see the reflection of like a little bit in there, but there's not that much. Minecraft is not the same. Bro. The way a little torch lights up an area and like the darkness over here, and the way the sun literally like the God ray comes down, like the beam of light coming through. That's the crazy stuff.
You're gonna lose it because you really haven't been messing with HDR. So when you
I haven't done HDR, 4K, ray tracing, none of that.
Bro, is like I said, as bad as Destiny moves on the Xbox One X, because the frames ain't there. Yeah. When it stays still and it's 4K HDR, you ain't moving, and
you're like, oh, it's a really good thumbnail.
It's beautiful. It's just that when you move, you're in molasses because they only do it 30 frames. Yeah. But it is outstanding with that high level, that resolution. And HDR, the colors are so vibrant. Like, how you go crazy when you see Mercury in HDR, Mercury past in HDR with that sun in the back.
Oh, man. I believe it, dude. I absolutely believe it. At some point, there's going to be...
Beautiful.
One of my monitors is going to turn into like a Twitch chat monitor, and when one of them is going to be a... The price is going to have to come down to get a 4K HDR, like 4K HDR, all that type of monitor.
Yeah, monitors are so expensive.
Man. I was like, the 4K, like, now you can go 1440p, HDR, high resolution, all that stuff is in there with like G-Sync and everything. That's not as bad, but the 4K is like $2,000.
Yeah, that's
the 1440p is like $500.
Yeah, so, that makes that price go crazy.
Yeah, but no, that's the leap. Like the HDR, ray tracing, 4K combo.
Time to get that OLED, Time to get that OLED.
Yeah, my 60-inch plasma upstairs, to go from that to a 4K OLED, I'm just gonna be like watching every movie and like, like
Then you already
glorious
gonna have a
greatness.
4K Blu-ray player, but by default with these systems. Then you're
It's
ready.
gonna be nuts, yeah.
You ready, man? It's gonna be good. The console, I can't wait, man. This is finally they're gonna be, they're gonna be
I
knocking
was like,
knocking it
so
out.
so I think
Mhm.
hopefully
Mhm.
they go. D3 has to be if they don't build
Yeah.
it for next gen, I'm gonna be upset because they're limiting the potential of what the game can do, and I'm hoping their constraints dealing now with like what they're currently based in, like PS4 and Xbox. Like if they are building around that one, they see the constraints, they gotta go next gen.
They
Gotta
got
hope
to go.
so.
I think like you just nailed it. I think even if they wanted to be greedy, right? They say, hey, we're gonna bring the old guys ahead,
So
right? With the
150
old
million
SSDs.
people, like great.
You got the SSDs, that's going to be the problem, right? Holding them back. They're not going to have the same experience. Then, like you said, we got the addition of PC, which is a base that they didn't have before to offset that. Then we have another year of development on next generation consoles. And the number one thing that you just said, which is from a design standpoint, space and structure, they cannot maintain the same old engine. They can't. They have to use a new engine, man. They have to do it. So I think it's in our favor. I think it's in our favor that D3 will be a next gen on. Now, if they drop the ball, they talk about bringing them old dude. I'm gonna be upset. I want to be very VIP. I want a velvet rope on my Destiny 3E. I want a bouncer out front.
Hey,
The
if they're gonna get rid of all your old stuff, it better be for a good thing, right? Is that right? There you go.
My
Yeah.
man. There you see, we there. You see how I
I'm
completely
just
dropped
putting
my
your
rules.
words back in your mouth.
Yeah, you see how I dropped my exotic rules. Exotic said they can go too. You can retire them. Retire away. You give me that SSD, that ray tracing. Oh Lord, woo! Let's go. Let's go. I forget
how many
about
people do you
Whisper.
think are working on that right now? Like the
I
whole
I
damn
think
studio is trying to build.
Luke. That's why we ain't saying Luke. Mark Noseworthy. All them boys. A-team. Them boys is in there. They are doing it. B.A. Baracus, all of them is in there. The official A-team is rocking out. I think, man, it's... I can't wait. I can't wait for an announcement. It's going to be hype. We hopefully get the darkness. Shout out to Zeroff. I drop all my guns for that new it. See? That's how you do. That's how you
Got
trick
that new
us.
hotness.
Got that
Old
new
and
hotness,
busted.
man.
New
Yup.
hotness.
New hotness. There we go.
All right, so we've rambled on enough about all that type of stuff. But honestly, the speculation, I didn't want to get to be a downer in this episode,
Yeah.
but we do have to cover what's going on.
Yes.
So
Let's talk about it.
two things happened. One of the tweets I sent out was with regards to setting expectations on the TWAB.
Yes.
So Trials last week had the issue where the rewards were still not fixed for a lot of people. So the 3, 5, and 7 wins didn't happen for most anybody. Flawless Chest was still there.
Mm-hmm.
And then before the TWAB came out, just earlier in the day, it was pretty early on.
Right.
I think it was, forget where, but he tweeted out too. He just said this. He said, to set expectations now, this week's TWAB will not have specifics on numerous items of feedback will be addressed. We're nearing approval on some action items for Trials, which we've noted in a previous TWAB. We've had a few meetings just this week. Sorry. To talk through many of the major pain points that players are feeling. It sucks, and it's nice just to see somebody, even just like a community person, just to say it sucks. Normally they're a little more like PR speak. He's just like, no. He's like, it sucks that things take time. Many of us wish that we could turn around a day later and say, here's exactly what we're doing, how we're going to do it, and when to expect the patch. But rushing fixes could lead to more problems that could further impact your enjoyment of the game. Band-Aid fixes could address the feedback in short term, but lead to development issues in the future. So this is their whole spaghetti code of stuff that they've got that you keep hearing about. Everything's so intertwined, they can't break anything. That's why they even said Polaris Lance isn't even getting fixed for a little while, because that's still broken.
Yeah, it's still broken.
Because they're saying other things might get affected by that. Like scout rifles or projectiles, or it's weird. We want to make Destiny 2 the best it can be. We don't want to break hearts. As noted in the original post, we want to create places that inspire friendship. Quite a bit of Destiny 2 content still shines for new players, but we have work to do for those that have been around for the long run. Hope to have plans to share with you soon. We'll be loud and clear when we do. So that was his thing of like, trials is, what is it? 3 weeks of trial, 4 weeks of trials we've had now. So 4 weekends of trials, the experience, the cheating, which some people are saying is there, but it is, I mean, PC, it's rampant.
Rampant.
To some point, at least. Some people are saying, like, the high-level people are seeing it pretty consistently on their cards. So you had that come out. That set the expectation before you even got the TWAB. What did you think of that before we even talk about the other topic?
I mean, I saw your tweet, so I retweeted it, and that literally was my mindset coming in, because as much problems as we saw, based on the cadence, based on what they said, they develop in 2-season cycles. I knew that they are not going to be able to fix this trials thing, in the cadence that I want. So it's either two things going to happen. You're going to give it a Band-Aid immediately, or you wait, and we get to the crux of the problem, hopefully, that they can resolve. The only issue I have is I got to call them out on one thing. I didn't like when they were getting called to carpet on their lack of decisive cheating or banning members. And they were very defensive. They were like, yo, we've got anti-cheat. What the hell is it doing? Because clearly people are going back in, same accounts, people were banned. The story goes on. So I'm not trying to disrespect them, because they are saying that they have measures. But this is where, and I got to shout out Lono. He was on fire with this. I'm getting this from him. You can't get mad, say you got anti-cheat, and then blame, and then say, not blame, but say to the community, oh, you go fix it, you go report, you do these extra steps to let us know, how, like, that's your job. Your job, or the systems that you don't have in place, you can't, the game is already in a bad state with trials with this hacking on PC. You can't then give the responsibility to the player and say it's your responsibility now to do these extra steps to try to get us to narrow down, because why is it not working on your side? That should be an automated process. That should be something that you should have in place, or working towards. And I know they can't tell us in detail, but I struggle with them having to give us these 3 or 4 or 5 extra steps. Like, dude, you're already frustrated because you got cheated on. You got hacked. You lost your card because of some fool. Now we got to sit there and write a complaint form, and now we got to do. Come on, like that. Bungie, I love y'all, but I don't like the way y'all handled that. I think it could be handled a little better. That's all I'm saying with that. And at the end of the day, I respect the cadence. I understand that we've got a pandemic. I am being very understanding as far as the time of when it can get done. But you cannot put that onus on the player base to do all this extra stuff when clearly the countermeasures you have are very loose. People are robbing your store, and they're going behind enemy lines. And no, you can't tell people, well, if you get a gun and you stand on this corner, let us know if you saw those criminals come by. No, fam, get the National Guard down here. That's where I'm at with it. So I ran over, but I had to say,
and that's fair. It's like, I mean, I've got my thoughts about what we're going to talk about next, so that's why I wanted to get yours on this one. But it is, I mean, they are in a very tough spot. That was why last week when the TWAB came out, I read it, and that was my reply. I was like, guys, we are in the middle of a worldwide pandemic right now, and it is a serious thing. People are needing to stay at home because they're, things are not going to be fixed for a while, and normal is not potentially going to happen until next year. Not to be scary, but it's like things are going to be weird. So we have to set our expectations of like development time. How many games have been delayed indefinitely? Speaking of Last of Us, is just like, we'll figure out when that thing comes out. When you have something of that scale do that, you have to imagine a live service game has a really tough spot to be in. They launched something, the feature people wanted. Did it come out correctly? No, it didn't hit the nail on the head. Now, some people say elimination in and of itself is fun. The cheating, the rewards may not quite be what people are looking for, and the incentive to stay around, but the mode in and of itself is kind of back.
Right.
And they now have the hard problem of trying to fix it from afar, which is not an easy thing to do. But in turn, as you said, when it comes to like certain cheating and things like that, and be like, hey, the things we do have are, we've banned this many number of people. That you could even just like how many people, like I would love to see the number of people banned per day.
Right.
and just like see that type of stuff and be like, we are looking at this. We are working with these people to try and work on other things. I know they can't show their hand per se, as you would say, because they don't want to tell other people how to do it or how to get around it. But on the other side, it's like they need more apparently because what they're doing, or I mean, the biggest thing people are saying, it's on Steam. People with the Valve account bans for however, whenever, still get to play trials. And that's the point where I think it was Astacross was just saying, put a paywall on it. I don't care what I have to pay for this thing. I've put out some way to pay for this thing, part of a season pass.
Right. Yep. We all agree. Remember when when Trials was announced, we all agreed. We like, don't know about that free-to-play part. We all kind of cringed.
Yep. And your dedicated group is going to pay for the seasons anyway.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be that much, but if you have the people who pay and are relatively active, free or not, hey, there's this thing, Trials, I can go play Crucible, fine. But I can do the ultra competitive thing. I got to pay for that.
Right.
Fine. Like if you have an active season pass, you have access to Trials. That's all you would have to do is you own this current season pass, you can play Trials this season. That's all you'd have to do. And those little farmed accounts that people just go switch over and buy to.
Yeah.
That would stop. And give me a 7-hour quest. I want that like 7-hour stupid quest.
Give me that quest. That's what we both say that. So again, this is them dropping the ball. You know what I'm saying? They've got they as far as getting back in. But again, the thing is, to me, this issue comes down to what they're going to have to do is they're going to have team meetings with Steam. Because clearly, this is a joint effort that has to. I don't think Bungie can do this on their own. That's the vibe I'm getting. And I don't know, like, you've got to look at what are the top. Look at what your contemporaries are doing, right? Look at people that are in your space or in similar spaces. I believe like Fortnite and or whatever, COD or whatever. Like, if it's a Punk Buster or whatever these applications are, right? You're going to have to partner up. You're going to have to you have to protect this game. This is a violation of the game. This is people in the space doing outrageous things, violating the integrity of your game. You have to do something on a bigger scale. Now, maybe that's what they are doing. Maybe that's what the eventual goal is. They know they can't solve it with a quick swoop, but we're getting there because slowly but surely, them PvP numbers is going down. Slowly but surely, it's a slow creep. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want that to happen. That's the last thing you want to happen. That's one thing I know they do. They are very serious. They pay attention to those numbers. So they can't. I know it's a 2-season cadence, but I don't know if it can wait 2 seasons. This one has to. You have to act swiftly.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, that's when you hear so many content creators, and they'll say it mostly just because they played PvP a lot more than I do. I haven't had as much, but I mean, all the things they said, it's like there are ways to, change the rewards on the ticket or on your card to make to help with like getting people out of the low games. If the low games are like 1, 2, and 3 tokens, and then literally if you were like 5, 6, and 7 was like 10, 20, and 30 tokens, your incentive would be to farm to the higher end. That's going to help the lower level base. Then the cheating is a thing that takes time for them to investigate it, program for it. And that's not an easy thing to fix, but like there are things they can do, like making an adept weapon. That's not going to be an easy thing to do. To add another perk and get a different skin, and those things are later additions. But like right now, for the token farming people, go make the token farming stupidly more profitable on the end of it, so the bottom's not valued. Don't be like 1, 2, 3. Be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 20, 30, 40. I don't care how many tokens people have because you have random rolls in the first place. Go get some tokens out there. And if people like Grenade or Jake have 2,000 Trials tokens, well, guess what? The dude's done 55 flawless runs. He probably should have every weapon he needs because he's earned it. So, and I mean, there are different ways to handle those things, but the cheating part is not going to be a quick fix. Adept weapons and flawless rewards, like go throw flawless takes longer than a Nightfall. Period. Go throw like 2 shards in there. Go throw like 5 prisms. Go make that thing so good that people are like, well, man, I'm going flawless, no question. Yeah. Like, that's what I want to get to.
Speaking of making things good for content that is aspirational content that is extra difficult.
Are we doing this now?
Let's just do it, man. I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, so the other thing there are two things in the TWAB. One, there is going to be the Bungie fundraiser stream Monday, April 13th at 10 a.m. Pacific. They will be doing their fundraiser stream. There is an exclusive emblem. During the stream, they're going to tell you how to get it.
Yeah.
Don't have a clue. It's a little vague for them.
Yeah,
Usually
so very vague, very
tune
vague.
in, here's your donation levels, all of this stuff. It's just like, tune in. I'm like, all right. It's kind of a cool emblem. Honestly, I kind of like it, but don't know how to get it yet. So that is, I do want to cover that one. So Bungie's fundraiser, Monday, April 13th, 10 a.m. Pacific. Stay tuned. We'll see what's going on with that one. And yes, we got the IO bunker this week. We talked about the narrative stuff. A week and a half from now, Grandmaster Nightfalls are coming.
Oh, yeah.
We've heard about them. We've seen them in the director coming April 21st. So I'm going to read off all the info. Then we're going to talk about it.
Let's get it.
This is why I wanted to bring this up at the end. So the rest of the podcast was kind of fun, speculation, more entertaining for you guys, hopefully.
Absolutely.
And people are like, why did you not start here? This is what I came to the podcast for. I'm sorry. I should be relevant on topics.
Come on. You know how me and E get to talking in the
Hey, story speculation is a hell of a lot more fun than bashing on something else.
Than bashing on something all the time.
Okay, so Grandmaster. In a few weeks, we'll debut a new difficulty selection for the ordeal called Grandmaster. It will test your fire team's coordination, communication, builds, and skill like no other in the activity Destiny to date. So they're literally saying these are going to be harder than raids, apparently.
Woo!
Here's a look at a few goals we've had when approaching Grandmaster after we saw how the rest of the ordeal was received. Bullet point 1, Grandmaster should build on Master difficulty, but be significantly more challenging. 2, once you reach a certain bar, the challenge should be found completely in perfecting your builds, communication, and execution. 3, the primary rewards should be doled out on the initial completion so that it's not farmable. Or the incentive is not farming. 4, completion should be the primary metric for success rather than score or time or another in-game activity metric like killing all the champions. 5, Grandmaster should stress the top end of build crafting. 6, Grandmaster should be watchable.
Watchable. Oh, we want to watch this.
To attempt Grandmaster, you will need to be power level 1025, which is 15 above the pinnacle power cap, but will be 25 power below the activity, which will be set at power level 1050, not 1060. We're also going to have something similar to contest mode when we introduced for Crown of Sorrow. You will get no extra advantage for being higher than power level 1025. So you have to be 1025, but you don't need to be any higher than 1025. We wanted to require a mixture of pinnacle rewards and artifact power to get you prepared for this, but not make you feel like you had to put in a ton of extra hours of over-leveling the activity. Get back to that. We're introducing some new modifiers along with some familiar ones.
Your favorite.
Including Extinguish. If your team wipes, you are sent back to orbit. And limited revives. You start with a small pool of shared team revives, and you get more every time you kill a champion. We don't want to spoil everything, so there are a few other wrinkles to let you discover as it goes live. Does this sound like a really challenge so far? We hope it does, and as a reward, you'll have increased chances of being awarded exotic armor and masterwork materials. But the main draw to the mode is the new seal and the title available for beating each of the Grandmaster Ordeal strikes once during the season, Conqueror. We want this to be one of the most challenging titles to get, but we want to be approachable for anyone to try who puts in the time and dedication with their team during a given season.
Woo! A lot there, eh?
You started.
That was a lot.
You start, because I'm going to go in.
I know you're about to go in. Look, we felt we were a little nervous when we heard this announcement initially, right? What could they do? Is it just going to be negative modifiers, walk away, boom, boom, boom? This surprised me. Shout out to WD Prescott. My facepalm was on deck too, because I'm like, okay, you want us to do this high-end, extremely, difficult activity, and you're not giving any different rewards besides the shards, and you're not even giving a guaranteed exotic. You're giving the hope of, like, why should I do this? Why should I be, people watch me for your enjoyment, my pain, and for your enjoyment? Like I understand. This is a lot. This is a lot of pain. And, they talk about wrinkles that are going to be added, that they're going to, is it going to be more negative? Like,
there's 11 of them. If it's anything like it's in game, there's about 11 negative modifiers.
Is killing me. He said for the likes, for the clout. I'm dead. The title should be Clout Chaser. Listen, man.
That's what this is. Literally just this is for swag,
bro.
This
I'll
is
keep
for
this very
bragging rights.
I'll keep this very short. This is not it. This is not it. I'm sorry that you cannot introduce this new. You're not giving any exclusive. I mean, the title sounds cool, but then you got the limited nature of this thing. We're FOMOing this again, and it's like, look, I'm gonna watch the dudes that want to do it. Fine, if this excites you, please don't take my disrespect personally. This is something I am not doing. I do not care about that. You are not giving me no incentive to go in there and do anything, and all it just seems is pain. So I'll be content to grind the same shards you grinding, the Conqueror dudes. This is for the Conqueror dudes, right? All that y'all grind, I'll be right 2 levels below, grinding the same thing over and over and getting there when I get there. Y'all can keep that title. I am good. I'm comfortable in my skin that I am not a conqueror, that they are. And that's it. But I'm going to let you go. I was surprised they missed the mark on this, to be honest. This really seemed very, very, very light. Very, very, yeah. I can't co-sign this, man. I can't co-sign. This is a sore spot.
Your name is not on that application. You're not putting that signature on that second line.
And to be honest, now where we're going. It's the last point before I give it to you. Where we're going right now with Season of the Worthy isn't in a good place as far as the hierarchy of expansions. And at the beginning, I was kind of defending them, and you felt it. You would put me on. You were like, I'm done with this bunker. What else we gonna do before You've been hinting to me that this is not bueno, right? You've not been feeling it. And I'm like, nah, we got surprises. I'm enjoying my
trials.
bunker. Yeah, I'm loving trials. I'm in my
Strike
trials.
one, strike two. This is strike 3, man.
The trials has been a mess, right? Trials has been a hack
The bunkers
mess.
is bounty hell, and then this is strike 3, man.
And then this is, I'm like, oh, season, like, it's so bad. I'm playing Final Fantasy. I'm playing all these other games.
I was playing Neo last night.
I see you on Neo. It's like, yeah, this is not it, y'all. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Season of the Worthy right now is shaping up. What was the? I'm not gonna throw Curse of Osiris because I think Curse of Osiris actually is better. Yeah, we gonna have to. Are we getting to Drifter and Black Armory territory? Like,
Black Armory is better than
Black Armory had a raid.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Season of the Drifter territory, but I think Season of the Drifter might be because at least we have Reckoning. We had a new mode. We had Gambit Prime. We had the loop. Yeah, we had the merry-go-round.
The loop-de-loop.
Nah, Drifter was bad. This literally, as it shapes up, Season of the Worthy is not worthy. It could arguably be the worst DLC or expansion or whatever you want to call content right now. This is really looking, unless something cataclysmic happens right now. Ooh, and I hate to say it because Trials debuted on this thing, but yeah. It's all yours, man. I'm going to let you shoot your gun. Season of the Born. They savage. Continue.
Okay, so these are my thoughts, and this is where we're going to wrap up the podcast. That's why this is at the end, so you can leave with a bad taste in your mouth. Not why I want to do this, but yeah.
Get me.
So, multiple things, and I've been watching Twitter, different reactions, different people keep bringing up multiple points on this thing.
I'm sorry, I gotta say this. He's killing it. He said Bungie's like, oh, y'all ain't like to slide down the board.
Bam! Now you got chords to run into. My brother was pissed about that. He's like, dude, you ruined the slide. The IO bunker, they ruined the slide. What's up,
oh my God.
Okay,
I had your dados on fire. Continue.
Yeah, first I'm going to be going through the levels here. So, just in the post, we've got, they want this to be watchable. What is that?
Get your Twitch stream.
There's no belts. There's no scoring. There's no rewards. There's no incentive to be repeatable. The people who actually finish a week's Grandmaster Nightfall, when they're done with that, they're like, shelf till next week. They're not touching it. Okay, so that's like one and done, not repeatably watchable. So, strike one. They want to stress top-end build crafting. Okay, so...
Like, we ain't all going to be using the same build with Divinity and us.
Like you're telling top-end build crafting is not going to be, like, how much your stats are going to be. It's like, okay, can you have Divinity line up a couple Izanagis? Somebody's going to have a Tether. Somebody's going to have a Well. You might have a Bubble as backup so you don't die or can res somebody. If you even have a res token up, they're bringing in res tokens, which people hate from raids, by the way. Like, res tokens in raids, something a lot of people would like to see go away because you literally... I've been in the moment where we got screwed on Garden of Salvation opening day by a res token. We would have finished the encounter, couldn't finish it because of a res token, because we ran out. So you're bringing in limiting revives. Extinguish has been in Nightfalls. That's not surprising. But limited revives, I've seen people just like when that thing came out, the people who were like, they spent 2 hours in a Nightfall just to finish a master. But they were like hunkered in a corner, sitting behind this thing, be like trying to peck away at this one guy, and they were getting like rezzed. I'm like, okay, so if people do get in a pinch, you're screwed.
Right, straight up.
They score isn't a thing. I don't even know if they're going to score it at all. Apparently, they may not time the thing.
No timing. They stressing that timing is not going to be part of their mechanic, nor
and
killing
then
a certain
how
amount of champions.
Master difficulty already. Most people farm Legend. So Warden of Nothing last week was farmable. People would much rather farm Legend and get the prisms and go buy the shards as opposed to farm Master due to like the difficulty being that much more annoying. And if you look at the modifiers in there now, it's just like take Master, crank it up. If they're on 9, they're going to about 12 on the pain in the butt difficulty.
Facts.
So.
Yeah.
They want you to communicate. Okay. So the things wrong with this from multiple people. Shout out to Teasing Teddy. We had him on the podcast before.
Yeah, shout out to Teddy.
So up until now, we've seen in the game it's 1060 power level. So people are like, all right, I want to get as high as I feasibly can to grind up there and be ready because we know these things are going to have insane modifiers from what we're seeing. So I'm going to do 6 million bounties a week to try and get my power level up there as high as possible. I am level 1045 going into this week. Okay, if anything above 1025 doesn't matter. Are you freaking kidding me? That is stage 1. If this is 2 things, both are wrong. One, either they knew this and they let people grind and spend countless hours grinding bounties, which makes them hate your game a little bit more when they do it, by the way. So they spend all these times and then they tell you all that grinding you did doesn't matter.
Means nothing.
0 work on the bounties. The other side is the fact that they didn't know, and then they do this last minute, and they devalue the amount of time people have put in the game for that thing. So they throw it in later to put an artificial difficulty cap in there, as opposed to here's another champion. Okay, we can't put champions everywhere, so how do we make this harder? Okay, we're gonna cap you at a power level. Period. So.
So basically, contest rule Nightfall. Let's just go.
Yeah, it's a contest rule, just like a raid, but you are hard capped. And then the other side of that is, I was reading on Reddit, somebody was like, so you introduce the artifact that lets me get as high as I feasibly want, but in the aspirational content, it doesn't matter. Okay, so you've got the power level issue of either screwing with people's time for the investment, because you can pull up, this is, if you guys ever want to do this, it's kind of scary to see how much time people into this thing. But if you go to Destiny Tracker, you go to leaderboards and you look at the power level. Yeah. Highest level people in the game. Yeah, one dude has been going nuts. His name is Dark Lancelotto. He is power level 1057, 1054, and 1054 between his characters. Now, if you guys want to know what that math is, your armor caps by pinnacles at 1010. So his artifact right now is plus 57. No, I'm sorry, plus 47. And if you don't know, the experience curve is exponential. If you're trying, when people were trying to get up to 1,000, their next level was 6 million experience.
Oh my God. Jesus.
Right now, I'm at like 1.6 and I'm like plus 15. It was 6, 7. He's probably even higher than that. There's other people at 1048, 1047, 1046, 1044. You're looking at an artifact bonus of 30 or more to get these people up there. They literally had to get plus 15 like I have been. And I haven't even done pinnacles. If I did pinnacles and I was where I was at, I'd be done. I'd be 1025 and I would be done without having to go through bounty grind for weeks.
For weeks. And here's the thing. Outsanity said it best. I think he said, again, these are made for the gigs, the glass daddles, because they know they would stream. I agree. I think the intention was, let's be real. I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying, I know what the intention was. The intention was we've got our hardcore, super, hardcore guys that one, let's call them the 5% or the 1%, right? That are very bored right now, right? They feel bored. They've done everything. You guys are finished. So now it's like, well, let's get them to stream. We'll get attention on the game, but the execution is still bad. And again, why are they gonna do this for these type of rewards? I mean, is
I
it
haven't
gonna
even
be
got
like
to the rewards yet.
oh God, like is it gonna be 10 ascendant shards? Is it gonna be like,
No,
come on,
it's gonna be like 2, maybe.
you can't. What was, remember when Curse Osiris dropped the ball? It was, what was the joke? Two tokens of the blue.
Oh, 2 blues.
What was the joke?
Oh, it's 2 blues from the public event.
Yeah, 2 blues. That's what this, like, come on, y'all. Come on. This is
yeah.
terrible.
I was like,
Continue,
so you've got
continue.
no, you've got the power level issue of not telling people soon enough, or a late decision that basically is a slap in the face to the people who did put in the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then you do that. Okay, so they want it to be watchable or farmable. Okay, you're saying the Dados, the Glads, Esoteric, whoever.
Yep.
Esoteric's still going to sell it with that hand tied behind his back. Beast.
Salute.
But
He'll find a way. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know how. It's going to be crazy. But they do it once. What is their incentive to go race this thing? To do it again? Like they said, the main rewards are going to come on the first drop. They said they had a couple of the wrinkles in there as well. And I'm sure like Glad and Chevy, they'll do it. I'm not surprised. Dado and Math Class, they'll do it.
Right.
But your incentive to do it, what do you get? So you get a higher chance, not even a guaranteed exotic. It's not going to be masterworked, which it should do.
Wait, they've confirmed it's not masterwork?
I mean, I don't know, but I'm assuming they just said a higher
God,
chance of exotics dropping. They don't say it's going to be a mastered exotic. That should happen. If you do get an exotic, every exotic that drops should be masterworked. Period. For this level of crazy. Now, maybe on the other side, they're worried about outshining trials. So here's this new aspirational PvE content. And they're like, well, if you can go in there and get masterwork exotics, maybe that might be incentive to farm, but you can't get the same thing in trials from the flawless chest, which still might be harder to do, because then is trials worthwhile enough? So that might be the balance there. Can't wait to see someone getting exotic from a Grandmaster with a 60 stat roll. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, a 50.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be like a 58, and people are going to be like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like you go buy your Xur Pinnacle Engram and you get a better roll. Like, that, nuh-uh. So that's an issue. And you're just getting shards. Like, masterworking materials, there is so much wrong with infusion and masterworking and crap right now. Just the fact that that's the only other thing you get. You don't get an exclusive anything.
Maybe
it
they
sounds
should give
like
us
from
some
this.
bright dust. Give us some bright dust.
Dude, you know how many people would actually farm that crap?
People would farm it for
dust?
some bright dust and some silver, son.
That would be hilarious.
Oh God, man, this is
So it's like, so you've got rewards. Not. There was an episode of How I Met Your Mother I was watching recently, and it's got Jason Segel, and it's got like they're working something out with some people, and like every time they like kind of send their version of like, okay, well, how about this? And he's like, not good enough, and he's like cracking a whip, and I'm just sitting there looking through this. I was like, not good enough, and he's just like cracking the whip, and I'm just like,
this is scary.
I don't have incentive to do this one.
Yeah, if you don't have, like, that's a problem, right? If you don't have,
I don't want to do. Like, I don't want to do this because it's gonna be a pain in my absolute just body and soul for something that I'm like, what if you do a Grandmaster and you don't even get a Nightfall or you don't even get an exotic drop? You just get like 2 shards, and you're like,
let me cut you.
I would shut it down and go take a walk.
Oh yeah, it'd be done.
I would be like,
Cat Chicory's on fire right now, because here's the thing. This is where they're really tone deaf right now. I'm sorry, I gotta call it. Because think about this. Think about how the community was galvanized with the Nightfall last week, because it was a glitch giving double rewards, right? We were like, yo, let's get in there, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of stuff the community gets excited about. This, no, this is not it. This is not a go. And the scary part about it is I am shocked they press send on this. Like someone should have pulled someone to the side and say, "Yo, they no, this is not it. You've got to do something different. You got to make adjustments. You got to make tweaks. You cannot ship this as it. This is a very bad look, and I'm worried. This is one of those weird kind of mistakes. Like you should know better, Bunch. Like this, you should know better. You can't do that. You can't. And all I'm hoping, and this is even, I know it's not even gonna be that much of a hope, but with the sentence that says, "Yeah, we don't want to spoil everything," as there are a few other wrinkles we let you discover when it goes live.
It's just going to be even harder, I'm sure. More champions.
I'm trying to
champions
hope that
with art, champions with energy shields on top of them. I don't know what crazy crap they're going to throw at you.
This is tone deaf. This is a botch. This ain't gonna go well. When is drops?
21st, week and a half. Same day as Guardian Games, and I'm not even holding my breath for that one either. This season is like working its way down the totem pole, man. It is working its way down the totem pole.
Season of the worthy. Yo, it's looking spooky out here. Wow. Oh man. Bunker Gate.
Yeah, no, killing me here.
Trials is a mess. Hack City. We got Hack City Trials.
It's a rough
it's a rough one right now. These are dark. It feels
and
like
we have an open month on the calendar. We don't know what's out there. There might be a secret, hidden thing people have data mined, but if that's like a quest, maybe that might. What else is there?
Season of the Wild Bother. Yo, it's looking spooky, man. I hate to say it, y'all. It's just. We got other games on the docket right now. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's other things, I've been hitting my
work on that backlog.
I've been hitting my backlog. I picked up Final Fantasy VII Remake. I've been Listen, you got things to do until they sort this thing out, man. Because at the end of the day, it's just like, we love this game, and it's just like I said, these are just a couple of. It's two things going on. This is a tactical mistake. We're not excusing it, but couple that with pandemic. Low stress. Low bandwidth.
Yeah.
Then can't make based on their cadence. They've told us they work 2 seasons in tandem, right? So this and whatever's next, right, is locked in, kind of, right? Is it the next 2, or is this the end of the 2?
This one is like so. This one is potentially going to be helping. What they learned from this one, hopefully, is going into September. Probably maybe like for final wraps, but yeah, season 11. Was whatever they learned from Dawn. Like, Dawn helped shape... Like, the early feedback in Dawn is probably helping shape 11.
Right.
But, yeah.
So, Worthy and the next one is joint together.
Probably. Yeah, this one's, like, being... Yeah, they're about 6 months. Okay. So, yeah, any farther than that.
Yeah, yeah. This is rough.
But that's kind of the thing. Is like, how do you put it out there and say, hey, you're going to do Grandmaster with contest. Right. There's not even a friggin' emblem. And I honestly don't care about, like, that's the thing. It's like, I'm tired of emblems.
Yeah.
Those don't show that much. If you paired up with somebody who was like, hey, you did the day 1 Garden of Salvation, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, even titles now, I have 6 or 7 I can pick from. If I put another one on my list of Conquer, it sounds cool. Shadow sounds cool. Almighty sounds a little pompous, but still sounds kind of cool.
Right, WD's making a good point. Now, let's compare. He said, to put it in perspective, this is parallel with Undying. Yeah. Undying had Vex Offensive only, right?
Yep.
It had an activity. It had that activity though. It was limited. That was pretty much it. Though.
We have the bunkers and the legendary lost sectors and stuff like that. That's what this.
Okay, I might say Season of the Worthy is better than Season of the.
If you take Undying and
if you take Undying as a
separate from everything else,
if you detach it from Shadowkeep,
Vex Offensive, public events, because you have to take the raid out of that as well, because that's like the Shadowkeep. So so Undying. Probably just because but that's always hard because you have this giant asterisk that it launched with Shadowkeep, so it's not going to be the biggest thing. Like the season exclusives, literally, if you bought Shadowkeep, you got it too. There's no additional purchase. So it's like That one almost doesn't count in the argument, I would say, just because it's like on that buffer below, like, yeah, you don't count. You're fine. Like, yeah, we know. But yeah, it's down there with it. No, I was like, Grandmaster for me just hurts because 1025
type of contact too.
I was like, this is kind of mine, but I was like, what's my incentive? You don't get a guaranteed Masterwork exotic. You don't even get a chance at like the double exotic drops we just got done seeing. Where like, those are cool. You could get, you know.
In their defense, they haven't confirmed, right? What have they said with the rewards? Let's see. Let's read the exact. What's the exact? The primary rewards. It says plural. It says plural. Rewards.
Oh, we know. 2 shards.
Your ego in it.
We have increased the chance of being awarded exotic armor and masterworking materials.
Rewards could be
all it
4,
literally says is,
6.
as a reward, increased chances. This is literally bragging rights. That is all this is.
I tried, but I tried to defend y'all with this.
I was like, and this pains me because if you were like, hey, if exotic armor that does drop will be fully masterworked, you'd be like, that's it. That would at least be like, it sets it a little apart. You're guaranteed a fully masterwork exotic. There's so many stat roll distributions, and there's like 30 per character. You could be like, and they're hard enough to run. You're not going to farm them. But I was like, you get a fully masterwork. You can get a fully masterwork.
What if they give you
at 55?
Five shards and two, 3, 4 golf ball.
Well, I mean, then you're just going to be masterworking your other stuff you've got anyway. But most people just farmed it all out as it is. Right. So the thing about masterworking materials, they're a pain point for about 80% of the player base. And then the people who play a lot and are crazy hardcore and the people who are probably going to pay this anyway, they don't need them.
Right.
So your materials for masterworking are annoying because they take a casual person or somebody who only has, 3 days a week, like, Captain McFly. He's like a dad. He's got 3 days a week to play. His masterworking materials are probably pretty sparse and thin because he doesn't have that much time. So for him, they're just an annoyance, and he may never masterwork armor that often. On the other side, the people who are probably going to look at this are going to be getting materials they don't need because they already can farm the master. They've got enough golf balls, and they go in maxed out as it is. So half the rewards that the people who are going to play this get don't matter. And then the other side, the exotic armor, they probably have a build that they need. And if you're going in with a build already, you probably have the exotic, whether it's Lunafactions, whether whatever your exotic is, you have it set up, probably masterworked. So the drop you get is probably like, is it decent? Okay, so literally both rewards for the people who are going to do this are not incentive. Yeah. So then it's truly a title checklist complete. Like, it's literally just
it's bragging rights. It's bragging rights via stream for the hardcore guys with whack incentive. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just the intent. We get what they're trying to do, but unfortunately, it's just, man. Oh, Nero's got the community. Oh, shoot to Nero's.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Love Nero's. That's what's up. Salute to him, man. Yeah. It's just a bad look. And, it's going to be interesting to see when this thing debuts how... Yo, Dad, I got to stop with the clout. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be... This is bad. I can't even defend it. It's just a low point. It's a very low point. It was not thought through well. That's just it. But the clout! It's about that clout!
That's one of the things. They talk about, like Luke even talked about, and this is kind of where I'm going to wrap my piece on this up. Talks about aspirational content. And if you want aspirational content of builds and things of that nature, you need a game that you actually can work on builds. Because right now, I can't find a whole bunch of resilience and have 250 resilience, so I'm this ultra tanky guy. And then in the back, there's a warlock who's got a lot of recovery, so he's getting his healing grenade up more and more and more and more to run through. And there's not the diversity of loadouts enough between stats and classes and things. Yeah. You have minimal differences in builds, and everybody's probably going to use the same loadout of weapons of divinities, Izanagis. You're probably going to have a couple other things in there for primaries, just whatever works. And you got to deal with champions, and you can't even throw exotics on, or exotic mods, or mods on exotic weapons. So the aspirational content that you're making right now is unfortunately to a point of it's just going to be adding as many annoying pain points personally, as opposed to champions which are in theory at least a mechanic and not an artificial power
I
level, which is what
love
this
the
is going to be.
champions. I love
Champions and others, some are
Yeah.
annoying, could use tweaks. Like a barrier who puts up a shield and can still shoot through it while you have to shoot him. That's not kind of right.
Yeah.
But on the other side, your rewards as well. If you're going to make aspirational content for anything, and this goes for trials as well, if you're going to make aspirational content that is going to be a pain in the butt, going to take 7 wins without a loss to do with cheaters, disconnects, and everything else, by the time you actually finish said activity and get that reward, the juice needs to feel like it's worth the squeeze. And right now, neither piece of the worthy of the big aspirational content feels like it is worth the effort. Adept weapons aren't there. Masterworked armor from either play. You could get a fully Masterwork legendary piece of gear from Trials. You could get a fully Masterwork exotic from Grandmaster Nightfall. At least to set it apart.
Yes.
But neither do that. You go do the Pit of Heresy and you get a fully Masterwork thing.
Yep. That's been the theme. Season of the Worthy, it ain't worth it.
Man, that sucks to say. It really, I don't want to say that.
That's the theme. It's like, why you literally, your mindset when you log in is, why? Why am I doing it? Should I do this? Why should I do it? Trials, should I do it? Why? Is it going to be, each part of the game is not worthy to do it. It's the most ironic name, right? Season of Worthy when nothing is worth your while to do. It's just, I hate to call it, bro, but it's just, and they've erred on this side of caution, and we've seen this pattern with the aspirational content like Recluse and things and all that stuff that was hard to get and then making easier. And I get it, you're trying to target that casual base that plays the most, you know what I'm saying, and I get it, but at the end of the day, you're missing the mark. And unfortunately, just like how Curse of Osiris, they had to learn the hard way when the player base said, yo, I'm out. We're not doing this. This is not, why are we doing that? We're not going to do it. We're out. And then they get it. And then, the sad thing about Destiny is just, it's always these peaks and valleys. And you just get mad that it has to happen because we feel like it shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? And this is where we're at. This is a low valley. We're going to have to power through. You know what I'm saying? And just, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? For right now, right now, it's not a go. So for guys who are enjoying their grind, please do grind. For me, I still enjoy Trials when I don't get hacked and glitched, but I still love the mode so much that I'm having fun when I do play it. I do my bunkers casually. I jump in, I jump out. You know what I'm saying? I set my little things, and then I keep it moving. I got my other games, and then, once the next stuff comes out, the next story beat, I'll be right back in the mix right there. But right now, this is definitely a low. This is a low point right now.
Yeah, this I don't even think should be coming out right now. I'd rather, it's doesn't seem fitting of the right time. And then the reward, if they don't have the bandwidth to make the rewards different, you can't do exclusive Nightfall gear or Nightfall armor, or we joked about before Grandmaster armor, start making stuff with like 12 no way to set it apart. And if you don't have the bandwidth for it, just dumping it out now leaves a sour taste. And it's the weird thing. If you, that first impression of Grandmaster Nightfalls, if they do revamp it later on, how many people are still going to be like, okay,
I mean, listen, one thing about us though, as much as I'm complaining, we come back. I know that. I know a lot of us do. But it's still just the initial QA of are we this is the sign off. Right. That dotted line got signed and we're tremendous. Okay, this is where it's going. I want to know the discussions to be like, this is what we have, this is all we can push out right now. And if that's what it is, I don't know, but I want to know how the discussion about this. I agree with you, because you're right, you're spot on. At the end of the day, we understand bandwidth, right?
Yeah.
We'll give them a pass on that. We all understand a pandemic is going on top of that, right? We get it. This is not affected because they chose to make these rules, right? They chose, this isn't a resource issue. This isn't, we ain't had time enough to make it. They chose this decision on how this thing is going to play out. And that is what we can excuse. because this was not thought out correctly. This was a misstep. So that's why this one they gotta get that work. They gotta get the blame on this one because this has nothing. This is you thought in your mind this is going to be excite people. You thought people were gonna be like, yo, we can't wait. Yo, how are we gonna get 3 shards today, baby? Let's go. Like, no one's doing that. No one. Then you contest ruled. You killed people's grind. They thought they were going for the what you call it raid flow. They thought thought people were gonna get excited for that, the contest version of the raid, and they thought people were gonna get the Twitch streams popping. I know what the thought process is, but
I mean, Kevin pretty well summed it up right there. Reckoning has more incentive to play right now than these do.
Yeah.
You can get spare rations or gnawing hunger.
How about give us an exclusive armor set? So it's just cosmetic. It looks good. You came like you conquered.
Give me a set of
Give
ornaments.
us a conqueror armor set, right?
Yeah, give me a set of ornaments.
Okay.
For the first 5 pieces are a set of armor ornaments that are just badass.
Put some chroma on it, right? Put some glow on it. Like, make them dudes who did this. You like, yo, that's thinking it through. Like, I just don't understand who said finished. Who signed off and said, yup, that's it. Nah, that's not it. It's not it, bro.
You even have like trials that glows. Get a set from the Grandmaster Nightfall that could like be farmable in there. And then each week you beat it, you have fire coming out of your shoulders because you are literally like the conqueror. Like,
yep. Pauldron coming out. Everybody looking like, yeah, man, we'd have been high. We'd have been like, you know what? Yo, I want to farm for that set, man. That set.
Be like, I got some bounties to do, guys. I will be back. Like, so that's all I got. And I hate to end on this note, guys.
I know too, but yeah, I got a bounce too.
I was like, in Bungie, if you guys do listen to this, we love this game.
We love it.
And believe me, we are so excited for what the future is going to hold because I love where the story is going.
Absolutely. The story has been the most positive thing. The narrative beats has been the most
these
positive.
Seasons have been amazing. And it's like, and I'm enjoying that. It's just things like this, when it comes out, it kind of hurts because I want to look forward to it. And sadly, I'm honest, I'm not. I was like, and that sucks for me to say it. So,
it sucks. Look, but I'm gonna take an old E-line before we sign out. Is look, you got other games, you know.
Oh yeah, no, game, I mean,
and I've learned now with this season structure when I'm not happy. Okay, you know what? Let me catch up on these couple of games, get the backlog knocked down. Then I come in on a more casual pace, and then once they get back, I'm right back full time all the way. You know what I'm saying? But and right now, I just log it in on Fridays. I do my little trials here and there. I do my bunker when I get a chance, and that's it. And then I sign out until we get more of what we're really looking for. That's all. You know? They gotta cook up.
Well, that's all I think we've got for the week. Again, the Bungie stream for the fundraiser is going to be Monday at noon. Tune in or watch somewhere to figure out how we get this emblem. We will just have to see. But as for today, I feel like that wraps it up. And you guys, as we wrap this thing up, try not to run. I do always like to go raid a Destiny player when we get done with this thing. I've got a good one to go raid when we get done. So when we get done, I will send you guys over. So hang tight in stream. Got to blow up somebody's channel. So, but before we go, Cognito, let them know what you got coming for the week or weekend or what have you been up to or just where they can find you.
Absolutely. At Lord Cognito on Twitter and Iron Lords Podcast on YouTube. Please check us out. Sunday's the Lord's Day. We will be having returning old friend to the realm, Jay Fonzarelli, content creator. Really good. He's on the RDX podcast, one of the top podcasts in the game right now. These guys always kill it. And Jay Fonzarelli is good people. We're going to talk it. He's a big Final Fantasy nut like myself. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that PS5 and all the stuff that's going on in gaming. So check us out Sundays, 1 p.m. Eastern, also on Iron Lords Podcast. Please check my brother, King David, the King of Statues. If you are a Marvel fan, if you are a DC fan, if you love these iconic characters, he's got amazing statues. These things look lifelike, man. Check them out when you get a chance. And, of course, lordsofgaming.net. And EU, be proud of it because I'm going to say it now, but I'm not going to say it. On Iron Lord Podcast, I said the best damn Destiny podcast is on Fridays. I said it on ILP. I've been saying that's my new mantra. He says I don't say it enough. I say it on other platforms now. You'll be very proud of me that I said
You can say it all over the other platforms. We good here.
But yo, shout out to the last thing. Shout out to the chat. Yo, y'all are on fire. All you guys, man. Give us energy. Great discussion. Great points. Great feedback. Love chatting with y'all, man. Of course, E, my bro, always on fire. Neo Mental, thank you, brother, for holding me down. See, he said, Cognito did say it on the other place. See, my man, Neo Mental holding me down, man. I gave this shout out, and a lot of people been giving us positive feedback on Last Word, and it really means a lot that you listen to us when we go into our rants and stuff. We still love this game, regardless.
Yeah, it's like I did not think today's was going to be this long. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, but it's that great discussion, but that's all.
But that future console building speculation was kind of interesting. Okay, who I wanted to send you guys to is actually got to be right back up right now, so I'm going to send you guys over to Connie, actually. So, so for me, if you guys are looking for me, I have been playing Neo, actually a decent amount, so working my way through a Souls game.
Nice.
Final Fantasy. I'm really debating how to play this, and I actually kind of wanted to ask you this as a wrap.
Talk to me. Yes.
I am working through Neo. If I don't finish it, I feel like I'll never finish it because it's always like a partial
you gotta
game.
Get it done. Yep, you gotta get it done.
I'm not even that far through, but I feel like it's ways to go. But for me, I debated on, and I don't know if this is dumb. My brother said just skip it. I'm honestly curious to play the old Final Fantasy VII through to like finish Midgard. That's the place I've heard this is through, and then turn around like behind it and go play the remake to experience the more 5 hours into 40 hours kind of thing. And kind of like if they've spaced this thing out over time, play the part that I think it's through in the old game, and then experience the remake version, kind of piecemeal it.
All right, here's the thing. It's not a bad idea. I actually don't disagree, but that's actually a unique way of looking at it because you're new to the series, right?
Yeah, I haven't ever literally played any of them. So
I will say this. The only issue I would have with that, and this is just if this is a personal question, you would know, is that can you deal with those graphics? Because it's very dated
at some point,
now.
I have to go play Chrono Trigger again. So yeah, I will.
Okay, so if you can deal with the graphics of the original Final Fantasy VII code, I will say like it's just moving around the map.
Super Mario RPG. I will still play that like now.
So you're a guy that doesn't have a problem with retro graphics, then you're gonna be fine. Yeah, that's actually a good idea because you'll get what it is it'll hold a lot of the scenes will hold more weight for you. You know what I'm saying? And you could do that. You get all the way up to make art and stuff like that. And all I will say is this: the stuff that there was stuff that was in Final Fantasy VII that may have been a 5 or 10 minute visit that is now an entire open world, like 4 to 5 hour thing.
Oh yeah, something that took like a 5 hour part of the game, the first 5 hours, and people are like, "How are you going to do this?" And it's like, "Hey, here, 30 to 45 hours."
And
yeah,
literally. And the last point I'll say is, just for the purists, this is more of an adaptation than a one-to-one remake. So if you're looking for, like, not you, but
they've had some liberties, I've heard. Yeah,
they've so for me, I'm loving it. I'm like, yo, this is new. This is different. Like, okay, we still got the structures, basic structure the same, but they've taken liberty. So yeah, I would say you could do that. And this way you can hold out. You don't have to buy. You still do your Neo. You do Final Fantasy VII original at your own thing. You'll be fine.
Yeah, it's just an idea. But granted, if I'm gonna be in the now, I just need to shut everything down and play remake like today. Yeah. That would be the way to stay now. So
I've been no-lifing.
We will see. So all right. So yeah, for me, Ebontis, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. You guys know where to find me as well. If you guys haven't subbed, and also for both of us, for Iron Lords Podcast and my YouTube channel. If you aren't subscribed, go subscribe. But if you are subscribed, please hit the alert bell as well.
Yes.
Their YouTube algorithm's always being funky, and apparently just even more so that YouTube wants the bell. So those will help get our videos to you. So it's always appreciated. I know it's notifications. You may have a lot of them, but it helps us, and we appreciate the support from you guys. So this is episode 98. Holy crap! Woo! 2 away. We are working on 100 being awesome. Got a guest lined up there that, honestly, very hopeful everything comes through. Potentially got a guest for next week. I can talk to you about that right afterwards.
Nice.
And then, Yeah, dude, 100 is so close, and
So
it's
close,
only
bro.
April. So, two other
What's
things.
there?
Stay safe.
Yes.
And if you have to leave your house, just please be smart. Please be aware of your face. Cover your face if you can. And don't do, like, just don't go to groups.
Yeah. Stay away
Like,
from groups.
yeah, stay away from any.
Game.
Yeah, just game. Stay home. Watch movies. Stream. It's the one thing you've ever needed to do, and wash your damn hands, people. That too. That was the other one I was going to say, but yeah.
Yep.
Stay safe, stay indoors, and wash your damn hands.
Make sure you get between here and get the thumbs too.
Get the nails as well.
Get the nail. You got to dig.
You guys
deep,
actually
man.
want
Clean.
Mark Rober, if you guys haven't seen him, he's a cool science NASA YouTuber. He's done the glitter package. He did one with that stuff you put on your hands and the places people missed.
Yes,
He said
and the
right
people
there
missed.
between the hands.
Awesome.
But like around the nails and the fingers. Yeah. Spend that 20, 30 seconds, especially if you go out and get groceries. Oh, yeah. Definitely go to town from like mid forearm down. Just, yeah, go for it. So
Decontaminate, y'all.
I literally just touched my face right now because of your glasses. If you're home and you've washed your hands, you don't have to wash your hands 6,000 times at home. But if you go out, definitely make sure you spend the time to clean up.
I can't believe we're having this extensive hand discussion. This is funny. This is great.
Honestly, at this point in the time, like that is one of those things like won't be shaking hands with anybody for quite a while.
Oh yeah, absolutely, bro.
And that's real. It's just yeah. So that's all we got for this one. Thank you guys. Longer than expected, of course, as always, but you guys are amazing. Yeah. So for episode 98, thank you for the discussion. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Sorry to leave on a sour note, but stay safe, stay awesome, enjoy your time in gaming, and just keep yourself sane. If you're not having fun in one thing, go have fun somewhere else.
Play some games,
We
bro.
will see you guys next week. Looking forward to 100 with all of y'all. And for both of us here on the podcast, it has been the last word.
Last word.